Are you tired of watching yourself shrink while the world keeps moving? Are you tired of burying your hunger beneath routine, numbing yourself with distraction, convincing yourself that playing small is just temporary? Are you tired of lying awake at night, scrolling through 1,000 excuses, 1,000 regrets, wondering why nothing ever truly clicks, why the gap between who you are and who you were meant to be still feels so far? Good, because tonight, that version of you, the version that tolerates that gapties, this is not a speech, this is a signal, a line in the sand. This is the moment you stop asking for a breakthrough and become one. From this night forward, you will no longer sleep like a man drifting aimlessly. You will sleep like a man on a mission, a man who understands that his subconscious is not a quiet place. It is a workshop, a battlefield, a cathedral. It is the soil where your future is grown or poisoned, and every thought you plant there matters. There is no off switch. Your mind does not pause when your eyes close. It listens, it obeys, it responds to your instructions, whether those instructions come from purpose or from fear. Every single night, your subconscious builds something. The only question is, who told it what to build? You will not become disciplined by accident. You will not build confidence by scrolling. You will not attract purpose while avoiding pain. The men who become legends, the men you admire, don't wait for permission. They program their minds like weapons. They train their thoughts like soldiers. They don't sleep for escape. They sleep for command. And yet, most men wander through life like their thoughts are background noise, as if their inner dialogue is just commentary, not creation. But I am telling you this now, with every ounce of truth and force I've earned, your thoughts are not random. They are instructions, they are fuel, they are prophecy. And your prophecy changes tonight. Because this is not a session for inspiration. This is initiation. This is not entertainment. This is transformation. You are not here to feel better. You are here to wake up, to rebuild, to reprogram. Tonight, we do not whisper to the mind. We command it. Tonight, we do not ask. We take. This is the beginning of a new pattern, a new identity, a new standard. Close your eyes and build. You need more than talent or hard work to be successful. It's based on controlling your feelings. Even the smartest people lose their edge when anger, fear, or doubt take over. Our feelings are strong, but they make it hard to make good decisions, hurt relationships, and make people act without thinking. People who do well don't lack feelings. They know how to feel without being told what to do. They don't answer right away. They pause. They keep their minds on when things go wrong. Controlling your feelings is not a sign of weakness. That's the plan. It helps you stay steady and focused and in charge, especially when things get tough. That's the real key to long-term success right now. I'll talk about the changes that happen inside people that make them different from those who are controlled by their emotions. You'll understand how to stop, how to train your mind to stay calm when everything is going wrong, and how to stop acting on impulse. Everything else is a mess. Ladies and gentlemen, the real key to your own success lies not in outside factors, but in our own power to manage our feelings. Time and time again, history has shown us this deep truth by highlighting amazing people who, they rose to fame by controlling their emotions, even though they came from a humble background. Think of Abraham Lincoln is a name that means strength and calmness. Mr. Lincoln was born poor and had to deal with many problems, bad luck and heartaches. Still, he had an amazing ability to stay calm and steady even when things were going crazy around him. Mr. Lincoln once said that his life wasn't easy, but it was marked by the disciplined management of his inner world. He believed that people can control their emotions, which shows that most people are happy when they choose to be, a key part of his journey. During the rough time of the Civil War, Mr. Lincoln's emotional control was very clear. The Civil War in the U.S. When the country was in chaos, there was widespread fighting, and many people had lost loved ones. Mr. Lincoln's most powerful trait became his unwavering calm. Instead of giving in to despair or panic, he used his emotions in a healthy way. He led the country with stability and clarity, and his calm, collected responses turned disasters that could happen can be turned into strong steps toward unity and progress. Mr. Lincoln's feelings were, his intelligence not only defined his presidency, but also made him one of the most respected leaders in American history. Being able to control your emotions is useful in more areas than just leadership. It affects every part of your personal and professional life. You go from being reactive to being proactive, from being impulsive to planned when you learn to control your emotions, thoughtful, and from being weak to being strong. Once you learn to control your feelings, they can help you in many ways. Get to where you want to be. Emotions that aren't controlled, on the other hand, can hold you back and keep you from being great. Trouble and stress. How many chances have you missed because you were mad, scared, or frustrated? How many? Have relationships suffered because of emotions that were out of control? Choose right now to look at your mind, and emotions are your best friends. Picture your feelings as internal forces instead of outside forces that you can't control. When properly controlled, these engines can take you to unimaginable heights. By making the choice to master when you connect with your feelings, you access a source of inner strength and resilience that lets you reach your full potential. Today should be the start of your journey to emotional well-being. Start by paying attention to your feelings and understanding, finding their sources and using their energy in a good way. Make an effort to stay calm when things go wrong. You are positive even when things are uncertain and determined to do your best. If you really control your feelings, you don't. If you change how you react, you will change. You become very clear about your purpose and very strong. And the purpose, you have an unmatched power to make the world a better place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the key to you have access to an infinite amount of potential. You can access your innermost strength by controlling your emotions. This is the start of a life full of success, happiness, and greatness. The first important step to mastering your feelings should help you set clear, enticing goals. If you don't have clear instructions, your feelings you feel scattered, reactive, and ultimately unable to move forward. But when you set clear goals, your emotions become strong allies that help you reach your goals and give you energy along the way. Take Thomas Edison as an example. His name is linked to hard work and new ideas. Mr. Edison opened up they changed the world, not by chance, but by working hard toward a clear goal to make a lasting. Electric lights are useful. His path wasn't easy. It was paved with a lot of problems and setbacks, mess-ups. But Mr. Edison's unwavering focus on his goal made me feel something. Anchor, which helps him stay strong and positive. He famously said, "I haven't failed. I just thought of 10 ways this won't work." Each setback was seen as a step forward instead of an emotional blow. He was able to get past this problem because he had a clear idea of what he wanted to achieve. Why does being clear about your goals have such a big effect on how you feel? The answer is found in the way that our minds. Without clear goals, our emotional energy floats around aimlessly, reacting to everything that happens every day. We get frustrated and get sidetracked, but if you write down your goals clearly, your mind has a clear point of reference, a lighthouse that guides positive emotional responses toward success. Instead of getting stressed out when you're not distracted by short-lived pleasures or temporary setbacks, your emotions are in sync with your goals, pushing you forward, slowly moving forward. I really want you to take a moment today to really think about what you really want to achieve. What is your life with electricity? What one thing will you have done that will make you happy, proud, and content? It could be a big step forward in your career, personal growth, financial freedom, or better relationships. No matter what it is, we need to be clear. Write down your goals clearly so that this process works. Writing itself makes commitment and clarity stronger. Take it a step further by vividly picturing your goals every day, yourself reaching your goals. When you visualize regularly, your feelings start to connect deeply with these. Getting excited determined and confident about your goals is key. Your subconscious mind starts to work, constantly working behind the scenes to help you get where you want to go. In addition, the accuracy of your goals have a direct effect on how they feel. Feelings are weak when you have vague goals. On the other hand, clear goals wake up your emotional compass, making you very motivated and strong. Momentum. Instead of saying, I want success, be clear about what that means. I'd like to get wealthy. You must be able to support yourself by the time you are 35, or I will get the promotion I want within 12 months. This kind of clarity gives clearly defined goals for your emotional energy to relentlessly pursue. The process is easy, but it changes things. Write down your goal and picture it in your mind. This daily habit makes sure that your picture delivers nad in this state. Your emotional energy is focused on a specific goal, which gives you the strength to get past problems. Stay focused and keep going. Enthusiasm, even when things are tough. Every goal that is very clear acts as a lighthouse, helping you with keeping you on course no matter how rough the water gets by controlling your emotional responses. To all the men and women, emotional mastery starts with being clear on what you want. In the same way that Mr. Edison's determination came from having a clear goal, let your clear, compelling goals drive and direct your emotions. An arrow. When you know exactly what you want, your emotions can help you get it, speeding up your journey toward happiness and success. There were many times in the 1950s when Walt Disney had to make a choice. The world saw a man who dared to dream too big for him to handle. He was rejected, his finances went down, and investors were skeptical. Differently. But Mr. Disney turned failure into a success by having a clear vision and being able to handle his feelings. Startup area. In the end, the world got more than just a business. It got a whole universe of ideas. Disney World opened in 1955 and became a symbol of creativity, happiness, and never giving up. The journey of Mr. Disney teaches us a basic truth. We need to be strong is more than just being able to handle hardships. It's the emotional strength to get through them, to face storms, not just with endurance, but with a spirit that says, this will also make me stronger. Emotional resilience is not feeling pain or fear, but being able to handle them well. They get a reply from us. Life doesn't always go smoothly. We are all put to the test by hardship at some point, whether it's failing at work, losing a relationship, having money problems, or having to deal with self-doubt. At this point, we have two options. The first is to give in to hardship and let it break us. The second, to get up, learn, and let the hard times make us stronger by forging our spirit. He went down the second path. He famously said, all the bad things that have happened to me, all my problems and difficulties have made me stronger. They weren't just words. Even when things went wrong, he stuck to these ideas. He didn't give up when others would have changed, learned, and kept going with even more determination. Building emotional strength is like building muscle, or through strain, stress, and recovery. You don't get emotionally strong by avoiding pain. You get stronger by going through it. How you think about your experiences is important. Do you think of challenges as punishments or ways to get better? Do you see failure as an ending or as important information? Every challenge you face is a chance to become a better person of yourself. You build your emotional strength every time you respond with courage, perspective, and self-belief. Core. Each challenge is like lifting weights for your emotions. It hurts and stretches you, but in the end, it shapes you, how strong you are inside. Today, make the brave choice to deal with problems in a positive way, no matter how hard it may be. It would seem. This doesn't mean hiding how you feel. Feel them. Accept your sadness, anger, or disappointment, but then move on. Get ahead of them. What can you learn from this? What can this do to make me smarter, better, and more? Strong? Start out by doing small things. Whenever something goes wrong in your missed deadline, a fight, or unexpected problem, take a deep breath. Get in touch with yourself. Instead of reacting, feelings aside, respond with a purpose. Train your mind to see the lesson and growth that came before the loss. These small wins add up over time. Just like Mr. Disney used his rejections as stepping stones, you too will find that the pains you've been through build up your power in the future. You are not born emotionally strong overnight. It grows with steady work, deliberate reflection, and a promise that can't be broken to your growth. Keep this in mind. Setbacks don't mean you're weak. They are the ones who can tell how strong you are. Life does not break you. It shows you who you are. And you have a deep well of emotional power that you haven't used yet, that is just waiting to be woken up. Walt Disney gave everyone castles, characters, and happy childhood memories. He may have been best known for the silent. His smile taught me that dreams aren't just made of talent or luck, but by an unbreakable spirit that won't give up. So, the next time something bad happens, curveball, think of Mr. Disney, who drew a world that no one else could see, even though he was being turned down and losing all of his money. Had faith in. Think about that picture. The strength to last and change lies inside you. Accept every challenge, not as a detour, but as a plan meant to bring out the best and strongest in you. The strong version of yourself. When you do, you'll see that no problem is bigger than your ability to rise above it, on top of it. Think about how Henry Ford got his start. Born on a farm in the country. Michigan, Mr. Ford didn't have much formal education and didn't have many resources. His only thing, though, was a vision and a strong faith in that vision. He thought about a world where most people could own a car. He worked hard all his life to make that dream come true. The path wasn't easy. Mr. Ford was made fun of over and over again. Failures and a lot of negative feedback. Even so, his unwavering faith in himself was still his biggest strength. Something emotional. Mr. Ford's story isn't just about new ideas. It's an important lesson in controlling your emotions. Whenever someone told him his ideas were stupid, it wasn't inside him that they were doubtful. He used it as fuel instead. That emotional strength and refusal to let go. He was able to rise above limitations by letting outside opinions weaken his own convictions. Because of his unwavering, believe it or not, Mr. Ford changed not only the auto industry, but also everything about American society. This kind of faith doesn't just come from being smart. It comes from being deeply emotionally in tune with your purpose. How you feel is, do not split off from your belief in yourself. They make it. The things you say to yourself, the stories you tell yourself. Every day, ask yourself if you want to move forward with confidence or doubt yourself. Trust is not a gift. It is an emotion that is trained. It happens when you keep telling yourself that you are valuable, worthy, and able. If you tell yourself mean things about yourself and are afraid, your actions will reflect that story. Don't act on opportunities, put them off, or hesitate. But if your emotional talk tells you that you're strong, recognizes your progress and excitement about what you can become, your actions will show confidence, bravery, and dedication. Take a look at this. Everything great that has ever been done started with someone who dared to believe in themselves. Not a single one did. The one for everyone, from scientists and inventors to artists and leaders, emotional self-belief was a theme. And that belief didn't always make sense. It often went against what other people thought to be reasonable. But it was real and strong. You have the same power. Right now, you can pick a different emotional story, change the part of the story that plays in your head. First, learn to recognize when doubt starts to creep in. Do not fight it. Take note of it, then tell them the truth. You can do it, you deserve it, and you. Change over time. Make daily habits that help you remember this truth. Affirmations out loud. Out loud. Write down what you're good at and what you've done well. Put things around you that will remind you of what you've been through. Picture your goals and imagine that you've already reached them. Use these techniques to make your emotional core stronger, greater. When you do this, your confidence grows naturally, not a passing mood, but a lasting state of mind, choosing to do. Being proud of yourself is not the same thing as believing in yourself. It means recognizing the potential that you have, even if, when no one else has seen it yet, your faith could be the only thing stopping you from becoming like Henry Ford. Big step forward, and that belief needs to be fiercely guarded, nurtured, and kept safe. Today you should be aware, choice, to align your feelings with how great you are. Stop waiting for validation from outside sources. You wrote your own story of how they feel. Make it one of strength, clarity, and unwavering faith. Do not forget this. Your success is limited only by how much you believe in yourself. The more you think you can do, the more you will. Go up. So raise your standards, believe in your abilities, and don't let your feelings get in the way of your progress. The wonderful future you're about to face. Passion is a big part of both success and happiness. This is what keeps us going, the thing that makes hard work into excellence. Passion isn't just a feeling that goes away. It's a force that lasts, makes our lives more intense, gives them meaning, and guides them. Even the best laid plans can feel empty without it. With it, we find that we can do things that seemed impossible before. Think about Albert Einstein's life, as people often didn't understand him and even made fun of him when he was young. His teachers called him slow. He had trouble in traditional places where people learn. Still, none of that stopped him. Why? Because Einstein's love for physics was stronger than any doubt or discouragement from others. This love kept him going. His determination shaped his ideas and changed the way we think about the universe. This idea of relativity, which is one of the most important scientific discoveries ever, was not a duty, but from deep personal craze and happiness. Passion makes you feel things. It gives you the drive to keep going even when the road is rough, is tough. It helps you stay focused when other things are calling your attention and strong when failure tries to shake your foundation. You can't sleep because of worry. You can't sleep because of passion. It changes problems into puzzles and turns setbacks into motivation. If you don't have passion in your life, you wake up, do the things you need to do, and drift off to sleep without a reason. But everything changes when you find what really makes you happy. You stop just existing. You come alive. You start to do well. Passion isn't just for artists and inventors. Anyone can use it. Willing to look inside and ask, what makes me happy? What would I do if not? No one paid me, even though they didn't understand. The job could be writing, teaching, or building. Healing, discovering, or taking the lead. It does not matter what form you use. The fire is important. Inside. Once you know what you're passionate about, give it your all. Don't think of it as a side project or a fun thing to do on the weekends. Make it the center of your emotional world. Make your life better, not the other way around. Keep doubt, delay, and other things from getting in the way. Give it things to learn, practice, and a strong determination to succeed. With passion, everyday tasks become extraordinary missions. When someone writes because they have to, they make content. But when someone writes because they love it, they make art. A teacher, while people who work for money teach, passionate teachers change lives. The same task, but different because of passion, it leaves a legacy. An important part of this change is how people feel. When you follow your passion, your feelings will help you. Joy turns into fuel. When you're frustrated, it means growth. Being curious turns into a compass. It's not even fear that can hold back passion. Takes the lead. Because you want to succeed more than you fear failing, you have to be ready to fight for it too. What you love. Some people will not get it. Some people might have doubts about you, brush you off, or even try to stop you. But they don't need to understand your journey. You get to live it, and when you lead with passion, your critics will eventually shut up because of conviction, as well as those who once questioned you. Today is the day you Either get back in touch with your passion or make a promise to find it. Think about the times in your life when you felt the best. Alive. Why were you there? What makes time slip away from you? What dreams keep coming back, no matter how many times you try to hide them? There are emotional clues here. There are breadcrumbs that will lead you to your true calling. Don't forget that passion is not a luxury. It has to be done. It's the prasta, the feeling that gives life color and the strength that makes goals come true. When you put your work in order, your passion, your goals, and who you are, you become unstoppable. Let your heart guide you. Let your feelings come next, and watch as something changes in your life. A truly amazing thing. Everything in life is always changing. Things stay the same. Things change. Relationships shift, and chances come up, appear and disappear, and the strange starts to feel normal. Being able to adapt is not only helpful in this kind of world, it is important. But while many people think of adaptability as a mental or physical trait, its real power lies in being emotionally flexible. Charles Darwin, whose ideas changed the way we think about this principle, was brought to light in a very deep way by our understanding of life and evolution. Even though he is often cited for his ideas, Mr. Darwin saw deeper truth in his research into biological survival. It's not the smartest or strongest people who survive, but those who can adjust to new situations the best. And at the heart of that, adaptability means being able to handle changes and adapt to them. By being quick, emotional, adaptability means being able to stay grounded and respond instead of reacting when things change in your life. It is the ability to stay calm in the face of uncertainty, to learn from new situations, and to grow, rather than snap when pressure is put on it. When Mr. Darwin was working on his groundbreaking ideas, he had to deal with a lot of problems. There is opposition, doubt, and criticism. Still, his ability to control his feelings helped him stay calm, patient, and thoughtful. Persistent, changing the way science and people think in the end. Consider your own life. What do you do? How do you handle sudden changes? A career change, a failed plan, or a chance that slips away? Are you scared? Can you pause, breathe, and adapt, or do you need to fight or shut down? Often the difference between success and failure is the short time between events. And answer. That's where your freedom to choose is. To grow emotionally, start with being aware to be able to adapt. Don't act without thinking when you feel like change is too much. Instead, take a break. You should ask yourself, what is this helping me learn? How? How can I answer that fits with my values and long-term goals? That one moment of thought can turn chaos into clarity. Next, see problems as chances to grow as an emotional person. Every time something out of the blue happens in your life, look at it as a lesson. It gets better over time, just like any other skill, by using. Emotionally flexible people are more willing to lean into discomfort out of curiosity and bravery. What? Once you're rattled, it won't bother you anymore. Change will happen from what seemed like disruption at first. Being flexible does not mean being idle or not having any plans. Instead, it's about having a strong core while still letting your outside plans to change. It means knowing your goal while making changes to your path. People who are emotionally flexible don't give up on their goals. They change how they do things. They bend but don't break. They move but don't lose their way. Being able to change quickly is a superpower in a world that is always changing. No matter if your emotional adaptability helps you stay stable when you're going through job changes, personal changes, or global uncertainty. Stay calm, pick up things quickly, and think things through. Trials become tools that help you grow through what you go through, and setbacks into chances to do well. Do this every single day. If your plans don't work out, be curious instead. Out of anger. When people surprise you, try to understand them instead of judging them. Whenever you feel let down, look for the lesson that was hidden. Over time, these small decisions build a mindset that can handle tough emotions. Don't forget that you can't control everything. the things that happen to you, but you can decide how to handle them. Your path depends on how you answer. As Mr. Darwin taught us that winners are not the strongest, but the ones who can change with the times. And being truly adaptable starts with how you feel. Pick today to become more emotionally flexible. Make it yours. Compass when things aren't clear and your strength when you're not sure of yourself. As time goes on and life changes, your ability to changing how you feel will help you reach your goals and reach your full potential. We should always be learning. It's the one trip that has no clear endpoint. With every fact learned and every idea grasped, when we master a skill, we change not only intellectually, but also emotionally. Being emotionally mature, not a fixed trait. It is something that changes, grows, and gets deeper as more information is gained. Each new lesson in life gives us a chance to become better people who can see, feel, and act more clearly. A better way. The life of Andrew Carnegie is one of the best examples of this truth. Getting to the United States, as a poor boy from Scotland who had to move to America, he had every reason to give up when things got hard, but he didn't. Mr. Carnegie, he chose to learn as his weapon. Books taught him things, and experiences were his classrooms. Many people remember what he said is the most important thing a community can do to help its people. Mr. Carnegie believed in the strength of the knowledge wasn't just theoretical. He learned a lot on his own and became the biggest steel kingdom in the world. His emotional growth, which came from years of hard work, discipline, and education, made it easy for him to make choices, be a leader with a vision, and rise with honesty. To learn is the beginning, a way to grow emotionally. Every new thing you learn makes your worldview more complicated. It makes you think again. Holding on to strong beliefs, understanding points of view that are different from your own, and controlling your feelings to deal with complexity. Each time you turn the page and fix a mistake, your ability to stay calm under pressure, to think things through, chaos, and to act with modesty and confidence grows. This is the power of education that you can't hear. Sculpts as much as it shapes intelligence. Daily work on improving yourself is not a nice to have, it's a must. The world changes all the time, and so should we. This doesn't just mean going to school, deeply listening and observing, slowly and steadily reflecting. These ways of learning are just as important as any lesson in the classroom. If you choose to keep, as you grow, you become more resilient. Instead of being critical, you train your mind to be open and interested. You see failure not as a loss, but as something that can help you improve. Every skill you learn and every idea you take in becomes a part of your set of emotional tools. Your choices get better as you learn more. You become smarter about how to weigh the effects. You stop reacting so much and start responding more. You get better at emotional intelligence by going through hard times and learning from them, being aware. You learn not only how to do well, but also how to keep going. Change and do well. Learning new things all the time is the key to real success. Forgery. Not just money success, but life success. A life that makes a difference in other people's lives, stays strong in tough times, and knows itself. Being emotionally mature is not based on age or status. It's earned by being aware, learn new things, which leads to growth. That's why you should learn every day. Let your interest be your tour guide. Read, talk to people, look for mentors, accept feedback. You are not only getting smarter as you learn new things, you are also getting wiser, stronger, and more whole. That is the promise of learning all the time. That is the way to long-term success. Having a positive attitude is your most important emotional supporter. That which you can't see is what drives you. When things in life try to drag you down, even if you can't change the circumstances, you can always change how you react to them. Your strength. That answer starts with how you think. When you think about things with hope and optimism, you open up a huge emotional strength that changes the way you live your life. This is Norman Vincent Peale, the founder of positive Modern self-development is based on this principle thanks to his ideas. In his important book, The Power of Dessen I Am. In his book, Positive Thinking, Mr. Peale stressed how a positive attitude can change your life. He did not advertise not just hopeless optimism, but a thoughtful, faith-based outlook that looks past short-term setbacks. Many times he showed how people could change their lives by changing the way they thought. His ideas were both simple and deep. You're not really beat up unless you think you are. Your feelings are deeply affected by what you say to yourself. The music of your life is what you tell yourself every day. Feeling bad thoughts is like anchors that are heavy. They make you feel bad, cloud your judgment, and limit your abilities. Positive, on the other hand, thoughts are like wings. You feel better, have more energy, and can think of new things. Every problem turns into a lesson. Every setback is a chance to make things right. This is not a dream, a positive attitude has real, measurable power. Being positive doesn't mean there aren't problems. It changes how you understand and approach them. When you have a good attitude, you learn to ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of, what's going on with me? It changes your focus from finding fault to taking responsibility and from problems to solutions. Chances to shine. When you do things this way, your feelings start to match up with your goals. It gives you motivation, even having trouble. You don't give up when everyone else does. You build up your resilience in the face of trouble. Today, make the choice to build your emotional environment. It starts with being aware. Pay attention to the thoughts that go through your mind. In what ways do they help you or hurt you? Do they come from hope or out of fear? Pick to think thoughts that make you feel good, give you strength, and encourage you. If you want to be inspired, you should surround yourself with good people and be kind to yourself. These small, regular habits shape the way you feel emotionally. Live. Maintaining a positive attitude has many benefits, not just for personal success. Being positive is contagious. Being negative can bring down a room, but being positive can make it feel better. People feel your optimism when you give it off. Your words and actions move people, and just being there is an inspiration. Someone who makes people around you stronger. When someone is positive, it can spark a chain reaction in families, communities, and teams. A chain reaction of hope and work. Let the way you act be your legacy. Choose that you will always act with faith, courage, and purpose no matter what. Things will get hard in life, but how you think about those challenges will determine whether they break you or make you who you are. Thoughts of happiness are not a wall to protect you from pain, but they can help you get through it. You have a pick. Pick to see the good. Pick to be kind when you talk. Pick to believe in what you can do. When you keep a positive attitude, you not only feel better emotionally, but you also open the door to your own greatness. And when you do that, you let other people do the same. Let your light shine. Let your mood get better. Let your emotional strength be the spark that sets change in motion everywhere you go. This is because our feelings have a big effect on the things we do. Every single day, the small waves of hope, anger, excitement, or doubt have a direct effect on the decisions we make. The habits we form. Emotions are more than just short-lived feelings. They are the silent designers of how we act. If we don't watch out for them, they can make us act rashly and inconsistently. But when they are managed with rules, they do well. Become strong allies in making a meaningful life. Benjamin is one of the best examples of this kind of emotional mastery. Franklin came from a poor family but went on to become a politician. He was a writer, an inventor, and one of the most well-known people in his time. He knew there was a strong link between thoughts and habits. Mr. Franklin created a way to improve himself that was based on 13 virtues, including moderation, hard work, and determination. He worked on mastering one virtue every week and wrote down his making progress in a journal. This organized way of improving yourself wasn't just about changing bad habits on the outside. It was deeply based on emotional control. He knew that in order to live a meaningful life, he had to make sure that his feelings were in line with what he planned. The things you do every day shape your future. Whether it's a good or bad habit, born from a feeling. Stress can make you put things off, boredom can keep you from focusing, and fear can set off an anxiety attack. Staying away. But what if you could stop? Think about how the habit makes you feel and make a different choice. This is where emotional control comes in. It lets you respond instead of react, to act on purpose instead of by accident. A sudden urge. Think about the habits you have now. Are they in line with what you imagined for the future? Do they match what kind of person do you want to become? If not, it's time to change how you're doing things. Instead of acting on impulse, with clear rules and guidelines. First, pick out one bad habit that you want to break. Do you know what feeling helps this habit grow? Is it fear, doubt, or lack of interest? Then consciously change your behavior to one that helps your growth. If you do this over and over again, you will feel a quiet revolution inside you. Self-control over emotions isn't about beating back. It's about getting it and changing the direction. It means being able to notice your feelings without being ruled by them. You can change your habits once you master this skill, and by extension, your fate. Begin small, wake up with a plan, make promises, be thankful, and work out. Be patient. When you do these things over and over, they become habits, and these habits make the life you want by living in line with your vision. People who never feel anything are not the most successful. Doubt or fear, but those who don't let these feelings control how they act. Building their lives on good habits is important to them. They know that being great is a habit, not a one-time thing. Their rules are not strict. It has a purpose. This helps them stay the course when others give up, to stay focused when there are distractions, and to keep going when things get tough. Feelings are a normal part of being human, but they don't have to decide what you do. Make use of them as signals instead of dictators. Tell them what to do, don't tell them what to do. With consistent self-control, you can change your habits into tools that help you succeed. So write your own routine. Build rituals that make you feel better in body and mind. Make your life purposeful, one habit at a time, like Franklin did. Make a system for yourself that shows what kind of person you want to be. Keep track of your progress. Congratulations on being consistent. And most importantly, don't lose your emotional balance. Luck or skill don't matter in the end. Makes a life with meaning. It's the buildup of disciplined habits that are made and kept up by emotional intelligence and a firm determination. The most important thing about your legacy is how well you keep your feelings in check. Martin Luther King Jr. is still an inspiration, and not just because of what he did, because he had amazing emotional control in the face of terrible hardships. Think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Leave. What will people remember about you? The effect you have tomorrow will depend on how well you handle your emotions today. Pick now to use your emotional power to make other people better. Take every day as a chance to improve your legacy. Means leaving a lasting mark by taking control of your emotions, changing lives, and changing the course of history. Take today. Being in charge of your feelings is your most powerful tool for change. Your trip starts now. Make up your mind, act, and leave your mark. There is one choice that will change everything about your life if you want to be successful. Having to wait one day or from the first day on. One thing stands between the life you want and the one you have now. Pick. Every goal, every breakthrough, and every change starts with one. That was an awkward step. It's safe to wait, but it holds you back. It's hard to start, but it builds momentum. The next step doesn't show up, it's made, and today is the first day. These not only are words meant to inspire you, they're also meant to get you to act. I'll tell you about the coming soon. changes in how people think that set dreamers apart from doers. You'll find out how to get rid of your doubts, change the way you think to help you succeed, and turn off the things that are distracting you. Stuffed. Many people will say, one day, but the few who choose day one are the ones who rise and build and make their lives better from the inside out. One dot for the freedom to choose. When you wake up in the morning, you make the most important choice of your life. Will you treat today like any other day? Or is today your most important day one? I have spent years studying the most successful men and women in the world, and there is one truth that I can't change. Being great is never a matter of luck. That's what happened because of clear choices. Always being made. Think about Thomas Edison, who was one of the greatest inventors ever. He had to face thousands upon thousands of failed attempts were made to make an electric bulb that would work. Mr. Edison knew very well how powerful day could be. 1. Every morning he made the decision to keep going and dedicate himself completely to his goal. What if Mr. Edison had hesitated and put off taking action, constantly telling himself, one day people might still be stuck in the dark, both literally and figuratively. But Mr. Edison knew that waiting for the perfect time is like waiting at a station for a train that never comes, is not there. Now is always the best time. Every sunrise is different. Show you a brand new blank page that begs your bravery and determination. Things don't always go well at the start of life. Chances to shine. Pay close attention to these chances right away and act quickly. Waiting makes you less determined and puts out your inner fire. Know this, the biggest risk in life is the choice you never made, the chance you missed. Never caught, the dream never went after it. I've met a lot of people who couldn't make up their minds and were waiting endlessly for the best conditions. But things don't always go perfectly together. Instead, your internal resolve affects the things that happen to you outside of you. Time is the most valuable thing you have, and every second you wait takes it away. Once time is gone, it can't be got back. Persons who are successful know how important it is to act right now. They took focused, determined steps toward their goals. Picking day one means committing to your dreams without wavering and fiery enthusiasm. It means being aware that everything you do today is a building block for what we'll do tomorrow. The choices you make every day shape your future. Things done out of faith, even when the outcome is not clear. When you consistently practice taking action right away, your goals become real. The truth. Great leaders and achievers are always sure of what they want to do. John Ford. Someone once said, if people know what you're going to do, they won't trust you. The world rewards people who are brave. Be brave, and make today the first day of your life, seizing every chance with all your might. Action builds momentum, and being great comes from working hard all the time. So, get up every morning with a plan and a clear idea of what you need to do. Get done today. Break down your big goals into steps you can take, and don't give up. Don't do the important things that will help you reach your goals right away. Don't forget that delay and procrastination are thieves that keep you from reaching your full potential. Make a choice, take action right away, and let each day bring you closer to the extraordinary life that is waiting for you to make a choice. Don't have any doubts or fears today. Enjoy this moment as the lamb to a true day, one of the best things you've ever done. Do not give up, be brave, and be determined. Success likes someone with a strong will who chooses to act instead of waiting. Start right now. Your future self can't wait to see the amazing results of the brave choices you make today. 2, figuring out your plan. Purpose is clear. You can think of purpose as the North Star that guides you on all of life's journeys. Landscapes with unknowns. I've spent my whole life studying successful people, and I've found one powerful truth. Achievers and dreamers are different because they have clear goals. If you don't have clear goals, your efforts will be spread out, floating aimlessly, like leaves being carried by the wind without any control. Think about Walt Disney, whose life shows a deep example of a goal being met. From humble beginnings, Mr. Disney dreamed of a world where millions of people could use their imaginations. He did not just wish for success or passively wait for luck to smile on them. Instead, he gave a clear definition of success, fully dedicating himself to his goal. His strength was being clear, which helped him turn problems into opportunities and make their dreams come true. These days, Mr. Disney's legacy shows how powerful actions with a purpose can be. Now, give your life a lot of thought. What is the clear goal you have? These are important questions to ask yourself. In 3 years, where do I see myself? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? What exact steps should I take? You plan to do to reach these goals? Your answers will help you find your way, acting as both a compass and a map, and a road map for your life. You are like a ship that is lost at sea without a rudder if you don't have clear goals. Compass, lost their way, and were vulnerable to life's storms. Clarity of purpose is what holds you down and guides your making choices, and focusing your efforts will help you get closer to your ultimate goal with each step you take. All of your success. The person I studied developed a strong sense of purpose. 3 people: Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison. Each person had a very clear idea of what they wanted to do with their life, which guided every decision they made and kept them going. Sticking with it, having a purpose gives you courage in tough times, strength when things go wrong, and energy to keep going. Know this, your most valuable asset is your purpose. Make it clear what you want, picture it clearly, and chase it with all your heart. Allow your goal to motivate every action, guide every choice, and force unwavering dedication. Every day that goes by without having goals is like wasting a day and missing a chance to move closer to your dreams. The world is on your side if you know. They know exactly what they want and are determined to get it. Your success depends on how well you can set clear goals and keep going after them no matter what problems that were encountered. As a result, today, fully embrace your purpose. Picture your goals clearly in your mind. Detail. Letting the clarity of your vision drive you to act right away and consistently. Come up with clear steps on the way to success, carefully planning your route. Remember that vague goals have vague outcomes, while goals that are clearly stated lead to clear successes. Your life, what you do, and in the end, your legacy show how clear your purpose was. Accept this deep truth and let it in. To help with every choice and every effort. You can achieve the greatness you want, but only if you follow these exact steps. Clarity and action with a goal. Define your goal with confidence today. Don't waver, and watch as the universe works its magic. Works together to help you reach your goals. Third, the magic of being strong. The purest form of resilience is the magic that turns setbacks into steps forward. During my many years, I've learned that resilience is more than just a good trait by studying the secrets of success. Without a doubt, of necessity. It's the invisible force that helps you get back up when everyone else has given up, to keep going when everyone else has stopped. Everyone around you says it's time to stop. Every loss, every defeat, and every hardship are not warnings to run away, but divine tools for teaching. Let's learn something from Abraham Lincoln's life, who is one of the most inspiring people in history. After becoming the most powerful person in the country, he had a string of failures that would have broken most men. He dropped his pawn. He lost his mother when he was young, failed at several business ventures, lost the woman he loved, and went through a long string of political losses that would have crushed anyone's hopes and dreams. But Lincoln was outside the norm. He stayed strong. He knew that losing wasn't the end, but a way to get somewhere else. Not the same as success, but necessary for it to happen. Each mistake helped him get better and sparked his inner change. There will be things in your way on your own journey. It is a fact, not a guess, that this will happen. It will test your resolve just by being there. But there is a strong truth in every problem. All of these problems are not sent to kill you, but to get you ready. They make your spirit better, your will stronger, and your virtues. When things get hard, remember that life only has one question for you. How much would you like it? Being strong is the answer to that question. Because of your quiet strength, you can stand tall when the storms of life is rough around you. A strong will says, I will try again even if everyone else says it's over. And do not get the wrong idea, resilience does not come from being comfortable. It was made in the fire of a hard time. It is grown during times of despair, when giving up seems like the easiest thing to do, than going on. But people who stick with things through hard times come out stronger, wiser, and better ready to face the greatness that lies ahead. People I knew who were very successful did. They didn't have smooth paths to victory. In fact, they kept losing, but their determination helped them keep going, pushed them forward. They got a timeless idea that I've said many times. Every problem, every setback, and every heartache has the potential to lead to something just as good, if not better. This isn't just idle talk. It's just the way things are. But that seed will only grow if you water it with faith and feed it with persistence. You need to start seeing each failure is not the end, it is a message. Think about what this teaches you. Offer of setback. How can I get better from this? What is the new direction? Found out the answers to these questions are the building blocks that will help you reach your goals. Let resilience be your constant friend. Let it change the way you think so much that every loss becomes a way to gain more knowledge. Do not curse the ground when you fall, because you will. Instead, thank the teacher. Get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Stronger will. Remember, the forest's strongest oak tree is not the one that is safe from the wind. It's the one that it stands strong in the storm and keeps growing. You have the strength to keep going, get back up, and win. The problems you face are not punishments. They are lessons. They show that your dream is important enough to have to grow, and growing means being uncomfortable. Take it in, get up and meet it. Begin today with a firm conviction that your strength will turn every possibility into a sure thing. Let the things that are hard for you turn into greatness starts to grow. Let every hard thing you go through strengthen your resolve. Everybody, turn an obstacle into a chance to grow. Because in the end, it's not the it's failure that makes you successful. It's their refusal to give up in the face of it. Be that person. Stay strong. Know this truth the way I have learned it. Not only are your dreams possible, they are going to happen if you have the strength to get through them. 4, the effect of believing in yourself. Each and every winner has a force inside them that is so strong and constant that it becomes the link between dreams and real life. Dear reader, that force is faith in yourself. It's the quiet, the unseen force behind all skyscrapers and the architect of all lasting success, every invention and empire that people have ever made. So doubt is a smart thief. It doesn't yell or demand. It talks softly. It plants quiet seeds of doubt until a garden of inaction grows where the doubts were. Dreams used to grow. I've seen smart men frozen with fear, and I've also seen modest men frozen with fear. Because they believed, their abilities reached heights they had never imagined. Let's look at the story of Orville and Wilbur Wright. These men were not born rich or famous. No, they were bike mechanics who were obsessed with the dream of flight to the point of being crazy, in a time when people had only ever, even though they knew what was under his feet, they were brave enough to look up and say, "We will rise," and they did rise. Not only through the air, but also above every voice that made fun of them. They had such a strong faith in themselves that they were so stable that even gravity could not hold them back. This is a reminder that you should not be laughed at, turned down, or a person who believes can lose if things go wrong. Believing in yourself is the first step to getting rich, successful, and powerful. It's important to believe in something before you can earn $1 or lay a brick. It needs to grow roots. Grow until it can't be broken. You shouldn't wait for proof. Signs of comes after having faith, not before. The Wright brothers didn't wait for someone to show them how to do it. They turned into the proof. You must also move forward with courage, knowing that your belief is the magnet that draws things to you for your life. This is important to know. Your mind is a workshop. Whatever you keep telling your subconscious mind will happen, start to shape and form into real life. Things come from thoughts. When you mix your wants with faith, they become your destiny. But doubt? There is a silent killer called doubt. It pretends to be logic and hides itself as humility and whispers, "Be real." And when people follow it, their dreams die before they can fly. Build, so, your inner fortress of belief. Be very careful with it. Care for it every day. Talk to yourself like you expect great things to happen, not like you hope they will. Believe in your abilities and picture yourself doing. Thrives. Do things as if you are sure to succeed, not just likely to. Don't forget, being confident spreads. Man who isn't sure of himself won't get ahead in life, so it goes. Who gives off an air of certainty. When you have unwavering faith in yourself, you will find that opportunities, people, and situations just seem to fall into place. It's not magic, though. It makes sense. At work is the law of attraction. Remember this. No one can climb past the limits he sets for himself. People can't be held back when they truly believe that they can do it. Was supposed to get up. Your dreams are not built on money, connections, or luck. It is the firm conviction that you deserve them and are able to reach your goals. So I'm telling you now to work on that belief. Let it get wild inside you. Let it win over your fear. Let it shut up the voices of doubt and defeat. Because when you believe deeply, truly, and without wavering, you will start to see the make the world do what you want. This truth gives you power. According to this rule, there's your luck. Believe, and the universe will reward you. 5. Following your dreams without apologizing. There is no force that drives people to be great that is as strong and all-consuming as passion. It's the inner flame that won't go out no matter how strong the wind of trouble is. Feeling passionate, not a short-lived interest or a desire. It is the best fuel for life. It sparks ambition and keeps people working and forces the person to go beyond what is considered average. During my lifetime, I've had the rare chance to study men who rose to greatness despite huge obstacles. Also, I can say without a doubt that the one thing they had in common was what set them apart from the others was a passion that was so strong it was almost an obsession. It was Mr. Edison who said, "I've never worked a day in my life. It was all fun." Why? Because he was filled with passion. He was supposed to play around with electricity, so he did. He went after it because it made him happy. Feeling passionate? What woke him up when everyone else was asleep? His passion is what kept him going when others gave up. That's why I ask, what do you love? What is the craft, idea, or vision that makes you feel alive, that lights a fire in your soul, that you would keep going even if no one praised you and no money was made? Find it, because yours is in that pursuit. Reason. Passion and interest are not the same thing. It is possible to put off an interest, a passion that can't be ignored. It asks to make you when it's quiet. It keeps you awake at night. It makes you want to move forward no matter what. The passionate man may not have much money or experience, but he is never really poor because he has a lot of energy that is directed in the right direction. With a goal is what power is all about. Take Madame C.J. Walker, whose parents were slaves. Born in the late 1800s, she worked as a washerwoman and made only $1 a day. But she really cared about beauty, respect, and making women feel better about themselves. Because of her love for hair care, she built a huge business around it and became the first woman to become a self-made millionaire in America. Her story wasn't one of wealth and ease. It was a red-hot, unwavering goal. Your drive must become your obsession, not in a bad way, but in a good way, where it takes up your time and thoughts, gets your attention, and makes you want to do something. The world doesn't like efforts that aren't all that great. Doing things half-heartedly only make things worse. Giving yourself fully to the calling that stirs your soul, on the other hand, makes things happen. To help you, there is no need to wait for permission. You shouldn't bother people who don't understand your fire. When it's real, passion doesn't need to be praised. It calls for words. The right time doesn't matter to it. It makes the perfect chance come up. Let others go with the flow. Let other people look for safety. But you go after what makes your heart race. For a man who comes in, power and passion go together. You don't have to push him. He's already being pulled by something much stronger than duty. He's being pulled in order to. Do not forget this. A man does well when he pays attention to the voice inside him. Answers with courage. Your passion isn't a fluke. It's the divine compass that leads you to your bad luck. If you ignore it, you're betraying the best in yourself. To respect it is to rouse the sleeping giant inside. So I say, don't wait, fan the flame, keep the spark alive, and give yourself completely and fearlessly to the thing that makes you happy. For passion is what sets truly living people apart from those who just exist. 6.6. The setting goals is important. It's not enough to just have dreams. The world is full of. It is run by people who are brave enough to set goals. So a dream is like a seed, but a goal is like the root system that holds it together, thoughts, urges. But a goal tells you what to do. A dream can make you feel better, but a goal gives your energy a place to go. You need to know this. A goal without a plan is just a wish that will never come true. Meant to disappear with the morning dew. The idol is in charge of wishes. Your goals are what you use to get what you want. Take Roger Bannister as an example. Everyone thought that running a mile in less than 4 minutes was possible before 1954 was impossible for humans. Doctors even said that the body would break under that much pressure. Not so, Mr. Bannister. He didn't agree with what most people said. He saw the end goal. He thought it was true. More. What's more, he planned for it. Every workout, every change in form, and every bit of discipline, these things did not happen by chance. They were carved steps that led to a clear path. And on that terrible day, Roger, not only did Bannister break records when he crossed the finish line in 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds, but he also limited a belief. In Mr. Bannister's story, there is more than just an athletic victory. Every man and woman should remember that wants more. You can change the course of your life by setting clear, measurable, and doable goals. Please tell me, how fast can you run a mile in 4 minutes? What is the impossible standard that other people have put on you? What is the picture you see, hold in your mind, but haven't been brave enough to bring to light yet? Friend, you need to have a clear goal. Vague intentions lead to not clear results. Set clear goals if you want to reach them. Do you want to make a certain amount of money? Learn a certain skill for a certain job. Better your aim, the stronger your momentum will be. When the the archer can train his focus, and the arrow will hit its mark. Split your goal up into steps. Here, being clear turns into having a plan. What needs to be done this week? Today, in an hour, every task you finish is like a brick on the path to your dream. Also, don't forget the due date. A goal without a brick date. Timing is like a boat that doesn't have a compass. It just floats around aimlessly. The pressure of deadlines is like a fire in the pressure of deadlines, is like a fire in the pressure belly that makes dreamers different from doers. Keep track of your progress without stopping. Tell the truth to yourself. Measure, change, and improve. Getting ahead doesn't happen overnight, but those who keep going will eventually get there. Every step forward, no matter real or getter, every step forward. A win, no matter how small, is a win. Without goals, dreams are just far-off ideas. It's nice to think about, but it can't change your life. But when a dream is linked to a reason, turned into a goal, and if it is backed up by action, then it can't be avoided. It turns into your reality. The person who writes down a person who sets goals, makes a plan, and lives each day in search of his purpose is dangerous, not to other people, but he can't be stopped by fear, mediocrity, or doubt. Start today, setting clear goals. Not today, not next week, not next month. Today, make the first move. Write down your goals, set a due date, and make a plan. Walk through the steps and then act like you know the time is going off, since it is. And in the end, your life will either be a well-thought-out work of art or a collection of random events, of wishes that were not granted. You can make your choice. Dreams become goals into powerful truths. Take action right now to get the life you've been waiting for. Thank you. Being in charge of your thoughts, 7 said, you are what you think about most. There is a simple but deep truth that runs through every success story, every tragedy, and every victory and every defeat. You are not shaped by your education, background, or even the things that are happening to you right now. What will happen? It's the way you think. Everyone in your mind is a worker, and thought is a tool. You are either building the house of your dreams or the prison of your doubts with those tools. As I've said many times that thoughts are things, the seeds of things that will happen in the future. Henry Ford John Dewey, an industrialist, said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Mr. Ford wasn't born with his ideas on an assembly line. It began when he put together his thoughts. His dream wasn't seen by other people. A lot of people thought he was stupid, unqualified, and even dangerous. But he wouldn't think about limits. He wouldn't let doubts feed into his mind. So he changed the way he thought about it into the biggest car company in the world at the time. If one man's mind could change the rules of business so completely, think about what you think your mind could do. I wish you would believe. Your attitude determines your path. That's it again. You are not on this path because of the economy or by chance, your competitors, or the approval of other people. It depends on the thoughts that you let rule your mind. Come to live in your mind. Today you have to make a choice that will protect your mind like a fortress, grow positivity, and encourage optimism. Develop a strong self-confidence, not as vague ideas, but as things you do every day. The mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are like seeds. Weeds will grow where flowers aren't planted, as usual. Negative thoughts will suffocate your potential if you don't train your mind to hold positive beliefs. Not good. Thinking leads to failure. It makes you unable to act. It makes problems worse and cuts down on possibilities. It turns small setbacks into huge problems that can't be solved. Think positively, though. It opens doors. It comes up with solutions when there don't seem to be any. It opens doors to opportunities, earns respect, and helps you keep going. Plain men look like giants when they do it. Don't forget, don't think this is just hopeless. It's not acting like there are no problems. It is the habit of focusing on how to solve problems. It means being able to ask better questions and see things more clearly. Setbacks to make way for comebacks. It is the firm conviction that you are bigger than any problem you're facing. You need to take charge of your thoughts. Do not let your surroundings affect how you feel. Do not let other people's opinions hurt your self-confidence. You are the only one who can keep your inner world safe. What you think about a lot will shape what you believe. What you think, how you feel, and what you do. Now here's the truth. Every great accomplishment starts with the mind of one person who wouldn't settle for average. Those people you might as well be you. Begin right now. Start by being aware. Watch out for your inner talking. Pay attention to what you say. If you find yourself thinking about limits, change the way you're thinking. Change your fear, faith. Change your doubt to determination. Change I can't to how can I. Write down affirmations that show what kind of person you want to be. Say them out loud, think about them, and become them, and see how your The changes happening inside you start to show up in the outside world. What you think, what you believe, how you act, these are the best things you can use. You can lose everything except your bank account and network. But your mind, you are the only one with that attitude. It can't be taken away from you. You have to choose to give it up. So I urge you, use that power well. Your days should be based on courage and conviction. Train your mind to look for what's good, to find the lesson and reach the goal. Your mental state can help you reach your goals. Once you do that, nothing else matters, can stop you. The choices you make, not the things that happen to you, determine your fate. And the most important thing, you can decide to take control of your thoughts and think about what you want them to do. After this point, let your mind have a mindset that is full of purpose, power, and unwavering belief. When you think about something, the world bends to your will. Start there, and great things will happen. 8, accepting the need to keep learning. From where you are, learning is the way to get where you want to go. Get where you need to go. It is the golden path that leads you from where you are now to where you want to be. Most important goals. No one ever became famous by accident. He learned his almost there. People who have made industries, empires, and other big deals are the most successful people in the world. They all left behind gifts, and they all had one thing in common. They were all lifelong learners. Let's take a look at Carnegie, a man I knew well. Mr. Carnegie was born poor and didn't go to school much. He could have said that his situation was an excuse, but he didn't. He made up his mind to learn, not sometimes, but every day. He looked into people, systems, money, talking to each other, and planning. Every book, conversation, and event taught me something. He turned what he knew into money into capital and money into power. The things he did well, from steel mills to charity work, was based on a strong desire to grow. This was clear to Mr. Carnegie, a timeless truth. Knowledge is not just power. It has the potential to be powerful. Only when used, only when acted upon, does it become completely different. I want to invite you, my friend. Today, you need to learn how to live. Today, tomorrow, and always. Do not be fooled by ease or past successes. The person who stops learning and starts to get worse. Comfort kills progress without being seen. The world changes very quickly. Industries change, technologies improve, and new ideas come up. You will be left behind if you don't change with them. I urge you, promise to get better every day, not in spurts or during emergencies, but as a way of life. Every day, try to get better at what you do, smarter and more knowledgeable. Read a chapter, learn about a mentor, think about what you've been through, and try out new ideas. Question old ideas. Getting educated is the real key to success. It doesn't lose value, it can't be stolen, and it grows as it is used. Never stop investing in it, and not just in institutions, but in yourself. Every hour spent learning opens the door to new opportunities in the future. Your growth as a person is not separate from how well you do. The engine is what moves it. Your mind will be clearer if it is stronger. The more you know, the better decision you can make. The more wise you are, the more you can change things. Do not forget this. The most valuable thing you have is not your money, your job, or your stuff. It's your potential to grow. Take care of it, keep it safe, and most of all, use it. Start your journey today of you should learn on purpose, not because you have to, but because you can. Every book you read and every lesson you learn brings you closer to living the life you want. It's not enough to just learn things to be successful. It's moving success forward. Take that step. Cross that bridge on purpose, and you'll meet the person you were meant to be. 9, flexibility, your best trait. Strength. Now, I'm going to tell you one of the most important truths I've ever learned. The only thing that can change is always there in life. Life will test you no matter who you are or where you come from, to get you through the unexpected. Things will not go as planned. Things are going to change. The winds are going to change. When they do, Your success won't depend on how smart you are, how many connections you have, or even how much money you have. It will be based on how well you can adapt. The man who learns to change can't be beat. He's not scared of change. He makes use of it. Getting in his way doesn't bother him. He reads it. He doesn't see chaos. He sees chance. This is the way of thinking you need to develop if you want to get ahead in life. Check out Thomas Watson's life, the person who started IBM. IBM did not hire Watson at first. In fact, the thought, in his early years, the idea of a computing giant was strange. But Mr. Watson had something much more important than just an idea. He was able to see the big picture and change their mind as the world changed. He changed his plan more than once, sometimes after failing and other times after succeeding, times to meet the needs of the market. With each change came new opportunities, and this went on for a very long time. He built a business that is now one of the most famous in history. Watson's story isn't just about how smart he was at business. One example of what can happen when a man welcomes change instead of being afraid of it. I tell you, this is the idea of power. You need to learn how to accept change. Let go of the have to know for sure. Instead, hold on to the belief that you will be strong no matter what happens. Being adaptable doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means changing how you're going about achieving them. Your destination is still there, but there's nothing wrong with your path going in a certain direction. Not wanting to change leads to nothing happening. It leads to anger, fear, and, in the end, failure. But if you meet someone who you're excited, you make room for growth, every problem turns into a doorway, move a stepstone around. Being able to adapt leads to new ideas. It's what helps the mind come up with new ideas. The bestest major historical events didn't happen when things were stable. They happened when they had to. They were made in the fire of change. So I urge, you should start working on being flexible today. Think of every surprise as a chance to show how creative you are. When plans go wrong, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I build from this? Find out what the new value is when markets change. What can I make here? The man who can adapt is needed by everyone. People trust him, want to be with him, and are always ahead of the by-tane curve. Most importantly, he learns to be strong. He doesn't break when storms come. He turns, bends, and moves forward with more knowledge. Be flexible to help you. Make it the muscle you work out every day. You'll find that no change can beat you if you do this, because you are always becoming. This is what long-term success is all about, and it starts with the choice to change. Ideas that don't get done are no power. Taking action turns possibilities into realities. Just think of all the successful entrepreneurs who put their ideas into action right away. Right away, action builds momentum, opens up opportunities, and you can see outcomes. Doubt grows when you hesitate. Taking action leads to clarity and confidence. Start now. Your dreams will come true. Dreams will stay dreams until you do something about them. Immediacy has a huge amount of power. Use. Today is the start of your journey. Remember that every great accomplishment starts with one brave step. One. You are the only one who can decide whether it's day or day one. Make a smart pick. Pick what to do. Pick to start now. There is one word that will explain why some people become famous and others stay in the same place. Discipline. It's the secret force that makes the difference between success and failure. Discipline makes you do things when it gets harder to get up early, stay focused, and avoid distractions. It's what works to make goals come true and making dreams come true. Discipline breaks the cycle of putting things off and forms habits that help people change for good. Behind every great accomplishment is a base of steady, quiet work. And work is not just a trait to be disciplined. This is the key that lets you get to your full possible. If you can do that, you can do anything. In a moment, you'll learn what sets great leaders, athletes, artists, and thinkers apart from the rest, what makes them stand out from the crowd. The boss The invisible force that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers is the key to your potential discipline. I've spent my whole life studying hundreds of the most famous people from the mid-1100s and early 1100s, found that at the heart of each of their stories was a truth that could not be changed: unwavering discipline. What an amazing. The fame of famous people like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison did not come from creativity or skill. Instead, their greatness came from a strict discipline that was deeply ingrained in them. Think about Henry Ford. Skeptics surrounded him as he thought about his innovative carriage that didn't need horses. Mr. Ford's vision was seen as useless or even silly. He had to deal with ridicule, doubt, and constant opposition. Still, in the midst of a storm of doubt, Mr. Ford's discipline led him in the right direction. Every morning, he woke up with a clear goal in mind. Setbacks turned into stepping stones, thanks to his discipline, which fueled his determination instead of putting it out. Because Mr. Ford stuck to his vision without wavering, it went from being laughed at to being admired. Turned doubt into respect and laughs into wonders. At first, the world was skeptical and hesitant, but in the end, it stood, amazed at how well his disciplined persistence paid off. Thomas Edison is also a great example of the power of discipline. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, Mr. Edison famously said. Dripping sweat. During his career, he faced failure after failure in his quest to show that this principle worked. Come up with the incandescent light bulb. Mr. Edison wasn't just talented or had a sudden flash of inspiration that kept him going. It was discipline and a firm dedication to his vision. After thousands of failed attempts, Mr. Edison stuck to his plan and kept improving it step by step until he not only lit a bulb, but also the whole world. Discipline is more than just limits or making things hard. In fact, it's freedom, the most freedom a person can have. Discipline gives you the strength to make choices, especially when loss of motivation or mood swings. If you are inspired or driven by passion, it is easy to stick to your goals. Still, real triumph, real long-lasting achievement grows in those tough times when motivation is low and the desire fades. Discipline is what keeps you going, even when you're not feeling very excited or energetic. Make it clear that discipline does not hold you back. It gives you power. It gives structure and a clear way to go toward your most important hopes and dreams. Discipline is the great leveler. It makes sure that even people with average skills can rise above those who are talented but don't have the discipline to commit to their goals. Not with discipline, talent still has unrealized potential. And dreams stay dreamy ideas that never come true. You might ask, how? How can I make my own life more disciplined? Start by making your purpose and goals very clear. Imagine what you want. Results very clearly. Let these visions strengthen your resolve and help you decide what to do each day. Set up habits and routines that will help you reach your goals. Start out small. Discipline doesn't need big things, gestures, but rather steady, focused work over time. Tell yourself things you will do and then do them. Each capped promise makes you more disciplined and boosts your self-confidence and belief in your abilities. Also, it's important to keep in mind that discipline works best in a clear and precise environment. Discipline is weakened by goals or intentions that aren't clear. Make your point clear. Goal setting. Make it clear what success looks like and what needs to be done to get it. Cover up. Surround yourself with disciplined people who will push you to do better. Their example will make you more determined, and their support will make you more determined. Remember that discipline is a choice that you make for yourself. It can't be forced on you from the outside. It has to come from inside. You have to consciously choose to be disciplined. To do so marks the start of a journey that will change everything. If you fully embrace discipline, you will find yourself empowered to face challenges, go beyond limits, and achieve goals that you thought were impossible before. Not possible. Let discipline be your lighthouse, your constant friend, and your best ally. With hard work, dreams stop being just wishes. They become real, attainable things that you can reach. Accept discipline and watch as normal days turn into extraordinary ones, bringing you your best. Bring your dreams to life. Your clear goals, which are your compass to greatness, are the clearest sign of people who are disciplined. During the years I spent studying the minds and habits of very successful people, I've noticed that people who are disciplined and successful always set clear, specific goals. A life without being clear, it's like having goals but not being able to control them, like a ship at sea without a rudder or a course. The wave and wind. Think about the story of Wilbur and Orville Wright, who did amazing things. These two great thinkers grew a dream that seemed impossible to achieve, taking to the skies. A lot of people around them thought their goals were silly and laughed at their efforts as unrealistic or even silly. Still, the Wright brothers had very clear goals. They were very clear about what they wanted to do. They carefully laid out their goals, which ranged from making machines lighter and more aerodynamic to mastering the complex mechanics of flight under control. They were able to rise above because they were always disciplined and had clear goals, concerns, the weight of things, and the limits of their time. Their methodical search helped people break free from the bonds of earth and reach for the stars. Your goals need to be as clear, and the accuracy of such huge achievements. Ambiguity and broad goals don't give us a solid foundation for discipline. Setting clear goals helps you concentrate, get your spirit going and your determination going. Once you know exactly what you want to achieve, you can make a detailed map that will help you get there. Disciplined work, giving each step a purpose and strength. When you set clear goals, your vague dreams become attainable ones. Goals that can be measured by actions, milestones, and outcomes. Today, ask yourself, what do I really want? What goal, if reached, would completely change my life and bring me long-lasting happiness? This question makes you think and be honest, for being truly self-aware is the only way to get clarity. Make your destination stand out in your mind. Very well. Picture yourself succeeding as if it were already true. Do not hold back. Feel all the feelings of happiness and accomplishment that come with reaching your goal. This emotional clarity gives you more power. Resolve based on rules. Set daily goals once you know what they are. Every day, no matter how you feel or no matter what, take purposeful, disciplined steps toward your goal. Discipline makes sure that things stay the same. You steady even when your motivation wanes or bad things happen. Disciplined action builds up over time, turning into strong momentum that moves you steadily toward your ultimate goal. Know that people who are disciplined do well with routines. Develop every day, having habits that always help you move forward. Each person is unique because of these small but important daily habits, from just dreamers to achievers. Being disciplined means sticking to these habits even when you don't feel like it. It's the strong, silent force that keeps you true to your purpose. Cover up. Surround yourself with goal-oriented people who share your values and whose disciplined behavior inspires you. What they did and encouragement can make you much more dedicated and driven. Take what you can from both their wins and losses, realizing that discipline and persistence are key to getting past the problems that will inevitably come up. Eventually, discipline and people who have clear goals can be transformed from ordinary to extraordinary. Achievers, let clarity show you the way. It will fuel your discipline and help you make each step count. Today, figure out your destination. Tomorrow, plan your steps to get there. Keep going. This steady journey day after day, step by disciplined step, until your dreams are no longer just hopes and become real and measurable. Your goals are within reach. You just need to be disciplined and keep going until you reach them. Accept the power of set clear goals for yourself and watch as your disciplined dedication turns your dreams into long-lasting success. Setting rules in the face of trouble. There will always be problems, setbacks, and failures in life. But for the disciplined person, The problems you're facing are not obstacles, but steps you need to take to become great. Having discipline shapes your power that changes the way you see things, so you can see challenges as chances to grow instead of as impossible problems to solve. Abraham Lincoln, who failed many times in business and politics during his life. At the start of his career, Mr. Lincoln went through a lot of terrible disappointments. He lost a few elections, had businesses go bankrupt, and had to deal with peers and rivals who criticize you over and over again. All of these setbacks were big enough to break the spirit of a less important person. But Mr. Lincoln, strict in mind and spirit, shows strength in the face of defeat. Instead of letting setbacks define him negatively, Mr. Lincoln learned from them. Failure can be used as a learning opportunity to build character and resilience. His disciplined way of thinking turned every disappointment into fuel to keep going. In the end, his unwavering discipline led him to he became one of the most respected leaders in history and led the United States through its most difficult time. Strength fueled by discipline is the key to thriving when things go wrong. Discipline gives you the strength and courage to stand up every time you fall. When you face problems, it teaches you to keep going even when the odds look against you. Impossible to beat. Discipline keeps short-term setbacks from turning into long-term failures. When bad things happen, strikes, take a moment to remember this important truth. Setbacks only last for a while. Every problem has within it. There is a valuable lesson and a hidden chance to improve your character and skills. Train yourself to look past the pain or disappointment you're feeling right now and find the wisdom that's hidden in it, the experiences. This way of thinking changes the way you see the inevitable hard things in life. Discipline lets you to ask important, empowering questions when things are going badly. What do I need to learn from this? How can this be? Challenge make me stronger. What can I do to get better after this? When you have a disciplined mind, you see every problem as a chance to get smarter, stronger, and more successful. To build up this strong resilience, you have to choose discipline every day. Set up habits and routines that strengthen your spirit, especially when things are hard. How consistent in your actions make people stronger? Preparing your mind and heart for the problems you will inevitably face, run into. Get around people who are good for you and who show that you can be strong and disciplined. Their own lives. Their examples make you more determined to keep going even when things get hard. Also, keep things clear. And clear goals that help you stay on track and motivated, even when things are hard. Setting goals helps you remember your bigger purpose. Keeping things in perspective and focusing on the long-term benefits of sticking with something will help you. Always remember that trouble is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Every trouble, setback, and failure holds the seed of something just as good or even better. Hold yourself accountable to develop these seeds that grow strength and personal development. As you get better at this, unfortunately, some setbacks can lead to your biggest wins. In essence, discipline lets you change the story of your life, no longer defined by mistakes or slowed down by setbacks. You become a disciplined person who sees chances everywhere. An issue. Accept discipline with open arms. Let it strengthen your resolve, make you stronger, and help you consistently reach your goals. Life's challenges can be turned into life-changing experiences with discipline. Seeing each setback as an important step toward your ultimate goal. The start of success, it has been my life has taught me that a person can only go as far as they believe in themselves. Self-belief isn't just a feeling good about it. It is the very foundation on which all long-term success is built. Before one can order, before he can control other people or situations, he has to control his own mind. And that command starts with a firm belief that he is ready, able, and destined to succeed. Thomas Alva Edison made lights. The whole world with his bright light. He failed thousands of times, but did he ever question his purpose? Did he let those happen? failures to figure out what his beliefs mean. Never. He kept alive in himself a vision so clear, so strong was their faith that even the darkness of failure couldn't put it out. That, friends, is the power to believe in yourself. You need to know that discipline is the loyal servant of faith. The vision is faith. Following rules helps build. Faith is only a castle without discipline in the sky. And discipline doesn't have a goal without faith. The two must, when you walk together, you make each other stronger. Mr. Edison didn't just think that things would work out. He disciplined himself every day to go after it. That was the guideline for his life, his thoughts, and his actions. Believe. He worked hard, methodically, and with a goal in mind. Every hour of work was like a brick being laid by the hands of discipline on the belief base. It has to be the same for you. Start with faith and always have faith. Say, be sure to tell yourself every day, I am capable, not just for fun. I deserve it. I'll be successful. Don't let any person, group, or event let failure persuade you otherwise. Doubt takes things away. It will take your fate if you let it. Protect your mind like you would a treasure chest. Get rid of all thoughts of being less than or not good enough. Right away, switch them out for affirmations of strength, purpose, and skills. Like a soldier getting ready for battle, you need to train your mind. Repetition and following through. What you think shapes what you believe. What you do is based on what you believe. What you did become your fate. But believing is the first step. I've sat at every table, from men with a lot of money and power. I've seen them rise from nothing, and it wasn't by chance, favor, but because they were brave enough to believe. Others made fun of them, but they believed them. They believed even when there wasn't much proof. Because they believed it, they made a picture of success that was so clear that people, chances, and situations that would help them make it happen were drawn to them by it. However, let me be clear. Belief without action is foolishness for a dreamer. You need to do something on what you believe. Let your every move be guided by a goal. Get up early. Make plans for the day. Think positive thoughts. Spend time with people who make you feel good. And when failure comes, which it will, don't curse it. As a teacher, I welcome it and make your belief even stronger. Always keep in mind that success is not a given. Not to the smartest or most talented, but to the driviest. And determination comes from believing and grows stronger through practice. So I say this to yourself. Believe in yourself with all your heart. Muster. You should discipline yourself like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Do. Know this to be true. When you combine belief and discipline, you can reach any goal. This will fuel your calm discipline. Many men look for secrets in odd places in their quest for success, as if success were hidden behind locked doors that only a select few are privy to. I have learned, though, that one of the most powerful truths is not in darkness. What you really want is your passion, and that passion gives you the discipline you need. That love is so strong and long-lasting that it can carry you through the hardest times and to the top of your goals. Louis van Beethoven, one of the best composers the world has ever seen. As he was becoming famous for his music, fate intervened. The loss of his hearing, which many would see as the final blow. For a musician, this kind of loss isn't just unneeded trouble. It's a tragedy. For Beethoven, though, it wasn't the end. In fact, it was the start of his most transcendent works of art. What did he say next? How did he write his most profound symphonies while he was no sound? One word sums up the answer: passion. Beethoven's. A love of music wasn't a preference. That was his goal. It lived in his soul. His spirit was led by the passion that drove his discipline. Not the kind you have to do because you have to, but the kind that flows naturally from inside. He didn't follow strict rules out of duty. Instead, he did it because he loved it. Phrase, one note at a time. See, discipline stops being a burden for a man when he finds his passion. It turns into wings. People talk about discipline a lot in terms of sacrifice, pain, and it hurts to keep going. But this is only true when someone is walking on someone else's path, when the light on your way is, since it's a passion, the work needed to keep going doesn't feel like work. It turns into something holy. I've sat with a lot of men, powerful and weak, rich and poor. Those who reach their goals with peace in their hearts are those who alignment between their inner calling and the things they do in the world. They did more than just work hard. They worked hard. That love and passion makes it easy to be disciplined. This changes the passion. Grind up to grace. What is it that makes you feel alive? What would you do even if no one cheered or praised you and didn't reward you? Because that answer holds the key to your future, and once planted, it is your job to take care of it every day. When passion drives discipline, it turns into a rhythm. It is like a musician who gets up every morning to practice his scales, not because he has to, but because he can't stand not to. The inventor worked late at night on sketches, not because he had to, but because he was devoted to what he was doing. If you're tired or lost, it might not be your lack of discipline that's making you unhappy. It might be that you're not connected to what you love. Line up, join again, find the fire that used to be there, did not take any time, and made work feel easy. And plan your life around it once you find it. Make the mornings holy time for your goal. Let your habits help you do what you're called to do. Put yourself around people who inspire you, who share your commitment, and who make you feel better. Spend money on your passion every day as if it were gold is more valuable than any treasure. Keep this eternal truth in mind. Problems don't go away when you follow your heart, but they're no longer at odds with each other. They become friends. Yes, they test you, but they also shape you. Thank you. They sharpen your skills, make you better at what you do, and bring out the best in you. When discipline is fueled by passion, it's not a matter of if or when. So I urge you to find your passion, live for it, and honor it, and let it help you stay disciplined every day, because you will be great when your discipline and passion come together. Ends up being inevitable. Hold your growth in check. Let us look at the life of Benjamin Franklin, who was one of the builders of American creativity. He was born into a poor family and didn't go to school after the age of 10. Still, he became a politician, inventor, writer, diplomat, and philosopher by being disciplined and learning on his own. How did he get this done? Mr. Franklin made a daily schedule that included writing, reading, and thinking, trying new things. He worked on shaping his mind with the same care that a sculptor works on shaping stone. He had books on him. He was always interested in languages, studied them in his spare time, and looked at the natural world with awe. He wrote down ideas, asked questions, and tested them. Most importantly, he was always learning. What Mr. Franklin understood, and everyone who wants to be successful needs to understand this. Knowledge changes over time. It moves and breathes, always changing, and if you want to stay smart, useful, and effective, you have to keep up with this movement. Power. But growth like that doesn't just happen. It takes place by discipline. Consistency is needed for lifelong learning. People need to make it a habit of, as someone gets into the habit of breathing every day, they are learning. It doesn't matter if you are a farmer, a teacher, a merchant, or a banker. As soon as you stop learning, you start to get worse. Your ideas get bigger, stale, your skills get dull, and your potential gets smaller. Following rules is what keeps the mind alive. To learn is not an event. It's not a camp over the weekend, a one-time class, or a sudden inspiration. No, growth takes place in small steps, not big jumps. And discipline makes sure that every step, lesson, and bit of progress builds on the last one. The last. Like interest that builds over time, the results may not seem like much at first, but over time they add up to deep understanding and skill. You need to make a promise to learn something new every day, not just when it is Easy to use every day, not just when inspiration strikes. Make time to read or listen to a lecture, learn about an idea, or think about an idea. Keep a record of your thoughts. Do something to test what you've learned. Don't be happy with just knowing things. Try to understand and then use what you've learned to help you reach your goals. Things are going around faster than ever. Fresh thoughts and ideas come out with each new season. You will be left behind if you don't put learning first. But if you follow the rules, when you push yourself to grow, you can do anything. This is something I have seen in the best leaders of business, the most admired thinkers, and the toughest pioneers. They're not just people with goals. They are people who work hard. They write down what people say. When other people make assumptions, they ask questions. They read while other people sleep. When other people distract them, they think by themselves. As you read this, discipline is the link between your best chance of success. Use it to help you learn more about the world. Let it go. Get smarter, make better choices, and open doors that talent alone can't reach. So, I beg you, develop the habit of learning every day. Know a lot, be curious, and be humble. Treat your mind like a garden, because that garden is where great things grow from seeds. It's not a goal to reach success. It's a lesson for life. And a disciplined learner is always moving, always changing, and always going up. Setting rules. When things change, the one thing that stays the same is life itself. It comes out of nowhere and changes the landscape of our money, businesses, and lives. Still, many people are afraid of it, fight it, and wise man looks forward to it, not because it's easy, but because it makes things better. No, because he has trained himself to be flexible through hard work. Think about how the economy changed in the 1950s, a 10-year period of change. As old industries failed, new ones popped up, and a huge number of people found their way of life was turned upside down. But among the chaos, a small group of prophets saw what others couldn't. The chance. They quickly adjusted, changed direction on purpose, and saw themselves not as victims of change, but as beneficiaries of it. It wasn't luck that set these pioneers apart from the rest. It was disciplined adaptability. They had trained their minds to stay calm when things get tough, their eyes to look for opportunities, and their habits to act on what they see, both quickly and strategically. Know this: you shouldn't be afraid of change. Being against change is. The person who holds on to the past will be buried by tomorrow, but the person who trains that man will be able to adapt, change with purpose, and respond instead of react, that man will rise above the storm. It's not chaos to be adaptable. It's not just chance. It's not giving up on your things or a direction. Disciplined adaptability, on the other hand, is the skill of staying true to your goals while making changes to your ways too. This is the power to stay rooted even as you change your stance. And like all, if you want real power, you have to train it. Make it a habit to stay awake and aware. When things get tough, don't worry. Take a deep breath, look around, and evaluate. The mind that can stay still in the middle of doubt is the mind that sees solutions where others only see issues. It's not natural to be adaptable. Everyone. Routines and the illusion of control are appealing to many, but progress needs movement, and movement is what progress needs to change. Prepare yourself to accept it. Every day you should ask, what has changed? What does it teach me? How can I get better? By doing this, you develop a mindset that is open to growth, to avoid being afraid of losing. Everything starts to look like a puzzle to you, not a sentence to bear. This is how businesses are shaken up and fortunes are made. Make legacies and how they come to be. In the 1950s, as technology advanced and global markets changed, those who were able to adapt their plans and welcome new ideas, those who looked into new tools and felt the pulse of the future, were ahead of those who stayed still. A well-trained mind doesn't expect the world to change to fit its needs. It gets ready to meet the world as it is and change it into what it wants, can turn into. You need to work on this trait. Train your ability to adapt like a muscle. Push yourself past yours. Ease. Try different things. Look into new trends. Talk to people. Some people are scared to ask. When problems happen, if someone knocks, don't hide. Let's go. Develop new ideas instead of copying others, and look into things instead of staying put. Every problem you face makes you smarter, and every setback makes you stronger. The world will keep going to... Things need to change in life, in business, and in society. But if you use disciplined flexibility, you will not only make it through these changes, you will lead them. Because of this, I urge you to make being flexible. Stay rooted in your purpose, but be flexible in how you carry it out. Don't let uncertainty bother you. Instead, train. Allow your mind to bend, but don't break, because that's what makes you strong. If you're ready, change will favor you. If you train yourself to be ready, every wave of trouble will turn into with the wind behind you. Your mindset, or how you see things, shapes the way you live your life. It does a compass, guiding you quietly through trouble, chance, and the unknown. Having a disciplined and positive outlook is not just a mantra to make you feel good. It is the base on which greater things are built. Winston Churchill was the leader of a country that was torn apart by war and fear during the worst parts of World War II. World War II, when it looked like freedom might not last, Mr. Churchill chose to train his mind. He didn't want to be. Desperation has taken over. Instead, he used the strength of hope and determination, his unwavering faith in... Millions of people felt hopeful after the victory, even though the odds were against them. It wasn't blind positivity that made him, but one that is very well disciplined. A choice not to give in to worry, fear, or no hope at all. The story of Mr. Churchill is not unique in history. It shows proof to the truth that everyone has battles, both inside and outside of themselves. And when that happens, the way we think becomes our strongest weapon or our heaviest load. When we train our minds to look for possibilities we change how we experience life when we have limits. Backward steps become stepping stones. Failures teach us something. Problems can be turned into chances to grow. This kind of discipline doesn't come, of course. It is formed by practicing every day and making a conscious effort to change our point of view. Thank you is one such powerful method. When we train ourselves to be grateful for what we have we give our minds more than what they need, making them stronger and clearer. Optimism as well is not a naive illusion, but a thought that has been trained. It's the choice to see past the pain right now and believe in the value of sticking with something. Discipline makes it possible to do what you want to do. Without it, positivity is weak and easily broken by the problems that come up in life. But if you follow through, positivity turns into a force that is stable, long-lasting, and able to change things. We start to think about what the world could be instead of what it is. We start to know what doors are. People around you only see walls. Every morning is a chance to train your mind. Will you think about your limits or be open to possibilities? Will you let fear take over, or will you stake your claim? With courage and clarity, you always have a choice, and every thought you guard brings you one step closer to the life you want. Picture. Your thoughts are what make your future possible. Be careful when you shape them. Build with a plan. Lead to teach them discipline, because in the end, your fate is not determined by luck, talent, or the way things happen to you. It's the mindset that you choose to have every day. Pick a discipline. Choose to be positive. Keep an eye on your life changes not by chance, but because of a strong plan you made for yourself. Action or discipline in motion is the pros. Action or discipline in motion. The ultimate test of discipline It's simple to hope, dream, and make plans. But these plans will stay plans if nothing is done. Hollow. Real discipline is shown by what you do, not what you think. To be successful in any area of life, you need to be consistent and a conscious effort. It takes guts to act even when things aren't going well, and persistence to keep going. Moving forward, even if it seems like it's taking a long time. Think about what Andrew Carnegie left behind. He was one of the most important businessmen of our time. Mr. Carnegie came from a poor family and worked his way up, not by chance, but through consistent, planned action. He didn't wait for the right possibilities to come up. They made them. He worked with purpose and accuracy every day, putting money into business, relationships, and knowledge. His wealth was more than just money. It wasn't built on anything but habits and constant progress. Setting rules means doing them even when it's hard. When you don't feel like doing something and the urge to put it off keeps whispering in your ear. Taking care of what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Putting things off is the silent thief of dreams. It slows things down and destroys in your own abilities and keeps you stuck in a cycle of unrealized potential. You have to train yourself to break free. Be firm and consistent in what you do. You need to train yourself to take that first step, then the next, and so on. That, not in big bursts that don't happen very often, but in slow, steady steps, each one disciplined. Every little thing you do brings you closer to the life you want. When the chance comes up, hesitating can be killing. When the mind is disciplined, it acts quickly and with confidence, taking into account that chances often come in the form of challenges, and waiting for the right time is just another way of fear. Discipline stops you from doubting, pushes you to act, and makes sure that you are ready to seize the chance whenever it comes up. Let what you do speak louder than what you say you will do. Let your discipline should show not in what you say, but in what you do. Your habits make the future you have. How you behave determines how well you do. When taken on purpose, one step forward means more power than all the goals that aren't said. Make a promise to do something, not just think, dream, or plan. Every day show up, do the job, push through the pain, gather speed. You can't wait for fate to happen. It's something you build by following through with your plans, one brick at a time. A person's actions, not their skills or luck, are what separate them from those who fail. And when you want to do something, discipline is there to help you do it. Pick a disciplined action and let it define you. Feel it. Let it guide you to the life you were meant to live. Disciplined living isn't just about success for yourself in the end. It's also about leaving a legacy. A legacy that makes other people better. People like Mother Teresa change a lot of people's lives with their hard work, besides their own. Train yourself to live with a purpose and a vision, bigger than your own gain. What do you want people to remember about you? Let this happen. Your actions should be guided by your vision, and each day should add to a lasting legacy. The responsible decisions you made today will inspire people in the future. Commit to living a disciplined life with a purpose, and your legacy will live on through time. Being disciplined is the key to success. Don't waste it, and great things are waiting for you. There is one word that will explain why some people become famous and others stay the same. Responsible behavior. It's what makes the difference between success and failure. Being disciplined makes you do things when it becomes less appealing to get up early, stay focused, and avoid distractions. You can't reach your goals without it. Make your dreams come true. Having discipline breaks the cycle of putting things off and creates habits that help you make changes that last. A foundation of quiet, consistent work lies behind every great accomplishment. Effort. It's not enough to just be disciplined. That's the key that lets you enjoy your full prospects. The more you know about it, the more you know about everything else. Within the next few moments, you'll learn what sets the average person apart from the extraordinary, the secret weapon that every great leader, athlete, creator, and thinker has. The bossman, The force that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers is the key to your potential discipline. I have spent my whole life studying hundreds of the most famous people from the mid-1000s, 100s, and early 1100s, discovered that at the heart of each of their stories was a truth that could not be changed: unwavering discipline. What an extraordinary icons like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison did not become famous by accident, cleverness, or skill. Instead, they were great because they followed a strict set of rules. Look at Henry, Toyota. When he thought about his innovative carriage without horses, doubters surrounded him. His name is Mr. Ford. Vision was seen as unrealistic and even silly. He was made fun of, skeptics, and people who were always against him. Despite this doubtful storm, Mr. Ford's discipline led him in the right direction. In the mornings, when he woke up, he had a clear, unwavering goal. Setbacks were turned into stepping stones by discipline, which fueled his rather than putting out determination. The way Mr. Ford steadfastly stuck to his vision turned ridicule into awe, turning doubt into respect and ridicule into wonders. Even though the world was skeptical and hesitant at first, it stood in the end, amazed at the results of his hard work and discipline. For the same reason, Thomas Edison is a great example of responsible behavior. Edison famously said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." A sweating. Throughout his career, he showed this principle by failing over and over again in his attempts to make the first incandescent light bulb. It wasn't just talent or a brief flash of inspiration that kept Mr. Edison going, proceeding. It was his discipline and unwavering dedication to his vision. After a huge number of failed attempts, Mr. Edison stayed focused and kept improving his plan until he not only lit a bulb, but also the whole world. Discipline is a lot more than just rules or making things hard. In fact, it is freedom, the most freedom a person can get. Having discipline gives you the strength to make decisions, especially when sometimes motivation or emotions change. It is easy to stick to your plans when you are passionate about them. Nevertheless, when motivation is low, that's when real triumph, real long-lasting achievement grows, and the desire decreases. Having discipline is what keeps you going, even when you're not feeling very excited or energetic. Make sure you understand that discipline does not hold you back. This gives you power. It gives order and a clear path to reach your most important goals and dreams. Discipline makes sure that everyone is on the same level. Some people with average skills can rise above those who are talented but don't have the discipline to commit to their goals. Lacking discipline and talent that hasn't been used yet. These dreams will always be just that, dreams. Perhaps you want to know how can I become more disciplined? First, make your purpose and goals very clear. Picture what you want, outcomes, very clearly. Allow these visions to strengthen your resolve and direct your daily actions. Make habits and routines that help you reach your goals. Take it easy at first. Discipline doesn't need big, not empty gestures, but steady, focused work over time. Believe what you say to yourself and keep your word. Each one, your discipline gets stronger when you make capped promises. This boosts your self-confidence and belief in your abilities. It's also important to know that discipline works best in a clear and precise setting. Goals or intentions that aren't clear make discipline less strong. Be clear about the goals. Make it very clear what success looks like and what needs to be done to get it. Surround yourself with responsible people who will inspire and support your progress. Their example will help you stay determined. Their support will make you more determined. Remember that choosing to be disciplined is a personal choice. Unfortunately, it can't be forced upon you from the outside. It needs to come from inside. You must consciously choose to be disciplined. Being that is the start of a journey that will change you. Fully commit to discipline, and you will find the power to overcome problems, go beyond limits, and reach goals you thought were impossible, unlikely. Discipline should be your compass, your constant friend, and your strongest ally. Regarding with work, Dreams are no longer just wishes. They turn into real, attainable things that you can reach. Accept it. Discipline, and see how ordinary days turn into extraordinary achievements that bring you your best. Make their dreams come true. Your clear goals and compass to greatness are the most obvious signs of people who follow the rules. Over the years I've spent studying the minds and habits of very successful people. I've found that people who are disciplined and successful always set clear, specific goals. An unsteady life, goals is like a ship at sea that is drifting aimlessly without a rudder or a course, open to every change and pressed as how the wind and waves. Think about the amazing story of Wilbur and Orville Wright. This pair of visionaries dreamed of conquering the sky, which seemed like an impossible goal. Numerous people around them thought their goal was silly and laughed at their efforts, calling them unrealistic and even silly. Nevertheless, the Wright brothers had very clear goals in mind. They had a clear idea of what they wanted to do. They carefully mapped out their goals, such as making machines lighter and more aerodynamic and learning the complex mechanics of flown under control. Their unwavering discipline, which was based on clear goals, helped them rise above doubt, gravity, and the limits of their time. Their organized search allowed people to break free from the bonds of earth and reach for the stars. Your goals should be as clear and accuracy of such huge achievements. Uncertainty and broad goals don't give us a solid foundation for responsible behavior. Having clear goals helps you concentrate, make your spirit stronger and your determination stronger. You know, when you know exactly what you want to achieve, you can make a detailed map that will help you get there. Organized work, giving each step a purpose and strength. Clear goals turn vague dreams into things that can be done. Objectives that can be measured by actions, milestones, and outcomes. Inquire within today, what do I really want? Which goal, if reached, would completely change my life and bring me long-term happiness? For this question, you need to think about yourself and be honest, for real self-awareness is the only way to get clarity. Find your destination very clearly and vividly. Yes, exactly. Imagine that you have already achieved your goal. Nourish yourself by feel the emotions and joy that come with reaching your goal. This emotional clarity gives you more energy to willpower and discipline. Once you know what you want, you need to stay on track every day. Each day, no matter how you feel or regardless of the situation, take deliberate, organized steps toward your goal. Discipline keeps things consistent, you strong even when your motivation wanes or bad things happen. When you take consistent action, it builds up and becomes strong momentum that pulls you steadily toward your ultimate goal. Keep in mind that people who are disciplined do well with routines. Grow every day. You should have habits that always move you forward. It is these small but important daily habits that set from mere dreamers to achievers. Sticking to these habits is what discipline means, even if you don't feel like it. 'Tis the strong, silent force that keeps you true to your purpose. Add to the surrounding yourself with goal-oriented people who share your values and whose disciplined behavior motivates you. The way they lived and being encouraged can make you much more dedicated and driven. Learn from both their wins and losses, understanding that discipline and persistence are key to getting past the problems that will inevitably come up. Finally, discipline coupled with clear goals can turn ordinary people into extraordinary ones. Success-oriented people. Clear thinking will help you stay on track, which will fuel your discipline and make each step count and have an effect. Presently, pick out your destination. Next week, plan your steps to get there. Move on. Take this steady journey every day, step by disciplined step, until your dreams are no longer just hopes and turn into real things. Your goals are attainable. You just need to be disciplined to go after them. Use the power of set clear goals and watch as your disciplined dedication turns your dreams into long-lasting success. Setting rules for the face of trouble. Life is full of problems, setbacks, and failures by nature. Nevertheless, for the disciplined person, if you want to be great, These problems are not obstacles, but rather stepping stones. Following rules shapes your dot. Changing your way of thinking can help you see problems as chances to grow instead of as impossible problems to solve. Abraham Lincoln, whose life was marked by many failures in business and politics. Earlier in his career, Mr. Politics, Lincoln had to deal with terrible disappointments. He lost a number of elections, had businesses go bankrupt, and continuously being criticized by peers and competitors. Every one of these setbacks was big enough to break the spirit of a less valuable person. Mr. Lincoln, however, was disciplined in both mind and spirit, proved strength in the face of defeat. He didn't let setbacks define him negatively. Instead, Mr. Lincoln used each one to his advantage. Failure can be a learning experience that makes you stronger and more resilient. His organized way of thinking changed every setback into fuel for persistence. At some point, his unwavering discipline led him to become one of the most respected leaders in history and lead the United States through its most difficult period. Resilience, which is fed by being disciplined, is the key to thriving when things go wrong. Having discipline gives you the strength and courage to rise. Every time you hit the ground, it shows you how to keep going even when things look like they're against you, beyond repair. With discipline, short-term setbacks don't turn into long-term failures. When trouble comes up, when it does, take a moment to remember this important truth. Only last for a short time. Every problem has within. That experience is a hidden chance to improve your character and skills. You need to train yourself to look past the pain or disappointment you're feeling right now and find the wisdom that's hidden in it. Encounters. This approach changes the way you think about the inevitable hard things in life. Having discipline lets to ask important, empowering questions when things are going badly. How can this teach me something? In what way can this challenge make me stronger? How can this turn of events help me grow? With this, if you have a disciplined mind, you can see every problem as a chance to grow smarter, stronger, and more successful. So as to build this strong resilience, you have to choose discipline every day. Make habits and routines that boost your spirit, especially when things are hard. Holding steady in the things you do make people stronger, preparing you mentally and emotionally for the problems you will inevitably face. Meet up. Put yourself around positive people who show you how to be strong and disciplined, how they live their own lives. Their examples should motivate you to keep fighting through tough times. Besides that, keep clear objectives that help you stay on track and motivated, even when things are hard. Set goals to remind yourself of your bigger purpose that will help you keep things in perspective and keep your mind on the long-term benefits of sticking with something. Always recall that bad things happen to you, but they teach you something. For every problem, setback, and failure holds the seed of something just as good or even better. Set aside time to develop these praise, seeds that help people become stronger and grow as people. Once you get good at this, your biggest victories can come after your worst setbacks. In a nutshell, discipline lets you change the story of your life, not defined by mistakes or slowed down by... When you face setbacks, you become disciplined and look for opportunities everywhere. Question. Take discipline very seriously. Allow it to make you more determined, tougher, and consistently help you reach your goals. When you're disciplined, life's challenges can change you. Seeing every setback as an important step toward your ultimate goal, it has been my foundation for success. Life has taught me that a person can only go as far as they believe in themselves. Self-confidence isn't just a pleasant thought. Having this trait is the very foundation of all long-term success. Before someone can order, he can't control other people or situations until he controls his own mind. And that order starts with a firm belief that he is able, deserves, and set to succeed. Thomas Alva Edison lit the world. Lighting up the world with his bright light, he failed over and over again, but did he ever question his purpose? What did he let those do? Failures to set limits on what he believes? Under no circumstances. He held on to a vision that was so clear, there was faith that was so strong that even the darkness of failure couldn't put it out. Therefore, my friends, is the power to believe in yourself. You need to understand that discipline is the dedicated worker for faith. Having faith is the vision. Having discipline is what builds. Belief is only a castle without discipline, beyond the clouds. And discipline doesn't have a goal without belief. Both of them must. As you walk together, you'll make each other stronger. Mr. Edison wasn't just hopeful about success. He pushed himself every day to do it. His life, his thoughts, and his actions were all based on that. Trust. He worked hard, steadily, and with a goal in mind. Each hour worked was like a brick laid by the hands of discipline on the base of faith. And the same must be true for you. Believe in yourself first and always. Simply say, admit to yourself every day, not just for fun, but with conviction, I am capable. I'm good enough. I am going to do it. Do not let any person, group, or event, failure should persuade you otherwise. Having doubts is like stealing. It is going to take your fate if you let it. So, keep your mind safe like a treasure chest. Throw out any thoughts of being less than or not good enough. As soon as possible, replace them with affirmations of strength, purpose, and strength. Mind training is like how soldiers train for battle. You have to be focused and disciplined. It over and over. And with discipline. What you think turns into what you believe. What you believe affects what you do. How you acted turn your fate around. But it all starts with faith. And I've sat across from men with huge amounts of money and power. To get where they are now, they didn't get there by chance. But because they first had the courage to believe. Even when others made fun of them, they believed. Of them. They believed, even though there wasn't much proof. Because they believed that they made a picture of success that was so clear that it drew to them the people, chances, and situations they needed to make it happen. Okay, but let me make this clear. If you believe without doing anything, you're just a dreamer. Taking action is important in what you believe. Let a purpose guide every step you take. Start your day early. It's important to plan your day, think positive thoughts, surround yourself with positive people, and if failure comes your way, which it will, don't curse it. Thank you for the opportunity as a teacher, and be even more sure of your belief. Always remember that success is not a given to not only the smartest, but also the hardest working people. Believe in yourself and be disciplined to grow your determination, which is why I tell yourself to believe in yourself with all your heart. Assemble. Get in shape like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Do it. Additionally, understand this truth. When you combine faith and hard work, you can reach any goal. This will fuel your responsible behavior. A lot of men look for secrets in odd places in their quest for success, as if success were hidden. Only a few lucky people know what's behind locked doors. One of the most powerful truths I've learned is not in obscurity. But your passion is your purpose, and that purpose gives you a lot of discipline. It is so strong and long-lasting that it can help you get through the hardest times and reach the highest levels of success. Beethoven was a great composer who will never be forgotten. During his rise to musical fame, fate intervened. Loss of his hearing was what many would call the final blow. Losing a musician is more than just a loss. Any trouble. Unfortunately, it's true. Ludwig van Beethoven, though, saw it as not the end. It was actually the start of his most remarkable, transcendent things. How did he go on? What made him write his deepest symphonies in the middle of... Why is there silence? One word can solve the problem: passion. Beatles. A strong desire for music wasn't a preference. It was his goal. He kept it in his feeling. His spirit told him that his discipline came from his passion, not the type that you have to do, but the type that you choose. that flows easily from inside. He wasn't following strict rules out of duty. Instead, he was naturally and happily interested in language, one note at a time. So, once a man finds his passion, discipline stops being a burden. It was turn into wings. People around the world often talk about discipline as suffering, as sacrifice, as perseverance that hurts. Nevertheless, this is only accurate when one is following someone else's path, when the light on your path comes from. Because it's a passion, the work needed to stay on, it doesn't feel like work. It turns into a holy thing. I've had many conversations with men, both rich and poor, strong and weak. People who finish strong and have peace in their hearts are those who found aligning their inner calling with the things they do in the world. It wasn't enough that they worked hard. They did their work with love. Love, that passion, makes it easy to be disciplined. It changes become graceful. Feel what moves you by asking yourself, what would you do if no one cheered or praised you, but didn't reward you? There is a seed of your future in that answer, and once planted, it's your job to take care of it every day. When you're driven by passion, discipline turns into a rhythm. Is the musician who gets up every morning to practice his scales, not because he has to, but because he can't stand not to? 'Tis not because he had to, but because he was devoted, the inventor sat hunched over sketches at midnight. What if you are tired or lost, it might not be your lack of discipline that is making you feel that way. It could be that you are not connected to your drive. Fix up, sync up, find the fire that was there before, disappeared time, and made work feel easy. Once you find it, plan your whole life around it. Do not forget to let the mornings be holy time for your goal. If you want to follow your calling, let your habits help you do that. Spend time with people who motivate you, who share your commitment, and who lift your spirits. Do something every day to support your passion as if it were real. Gold is the best thing to have because it is extremely valuable. Don't forget this eternal truth. Problems don't go away when you don't give up on your dreams, but don't follow your passion either. They end up becoming friends. Although they test you, they also shape you. I appreciate it. They make you better at what you do, sharpen your edge, and bring out the best in you. Greatness is reached when passion drives discipline. That is not a question of if, but when. Therefore, I urge you to discover your passion, cherish it, and live your life. Get disciplined every day by following it, because you'll be great when your discipline and passion come together. It's inevitable. Set limits on your growth. Take a look at the life of Benjamin Franklin, who was one of the Americans who have made America innovative. He came from a poor family and didn't go to school after the age of 10. Nevertheless, he worked hard and taught himself, which helped him become a politician, inventor, writer, diplomat, and philosopher. Was this accomplished? Dear Mr. Franklin set up a daily routine that included writing, reading, and thinking, trying new things. He worked hard to shape his mind in the same way that a sculptor works with stone. He had books with him. Whenever he could, he studied languages in his spare time and was always interested in what was going on in nature. He took notes, asked questions, and tested ideas. Furthermore, he consistently continued to learn things that Mr. Franklin, it is understood, and everyone who wants to be successful must understand that knowledge changes over time. It moves and breathes, is always changing. And if you want to stay sharp, useful, and effective, you need to keep up with it. Strength. Growing like this doesn't just happen, though. This takes place, responsible behavior. Lifelong learning needs to be done regularly. Persons need to get into the habit of learning as one gets into the daily habit of breathing, naturally and instinctively. It does not matter if you are as a teacher, a business person, a farmer, or a banker. When you stop learning, you start to get worse. Your thoughts get bigger, old, your skills get dull, and your potential gets smaller. Having discipline is important for keeping your mind alive. Getting smart is not an happening. It's not a seminar over the weekend, a one-time class, or an outburst of creativity. Growth doesn't happen in Small steps, not big jumps. And discipline is what makes sure that every step, lesson, and bit of progress builds on the last one. Lastly, like compound interest, the results may not seem like much at first, but they add up over time to deep knowledge and skill. You have to make a promise to learn something new every day. While it's happening, convenient every day, not just when you get an idea. Spend some time reading or listening to podcasts, a talk, learn about an idea, or think about an idea. Remember to write down your thoughts. Use what you've learned to see how it works. Do not be happy with just knowing things. Find ways to understand and then use what you've learned to help you reach your goals. World events are happening more quickly than ever. New thoughts and ideas appear with each new season. It is important to learn because if you don't, you will fall behind. But if you're strict, you can do anything if you push yourself to grow. This truth has been seen in the best leaders of Baise, in business, the most respected thinkers, and the toughest pioneers. There is no such thing as just driven people. They work hard at school. When someone talks, they write it down. People don't assume they know when they ask them questions. They read while everyone else sleeps. When others distract them, they think on their own. Sticking to your discipline is what connects you to your best possible outcome. Bring you to the edge of what you think you know. Nourish it. Improve your decisions, sharpen your mind, and open doors that talent alone can't reach. Therefore, I beg you, making learning a daily habit is important. You should treat your mind like a garden and feed it with knowledge, interest, and humility. Because that's where the seeds of greatness grow and take root. Being successful isn't a goal, it's a lesson for life. Also, a disciplined learner is always moving, always changing, and always rising, controlling behavior. When things change, the one thing that stays the same is life itself. It comes without warning and changes the landscape. The details of our lives, businesses, and wealth. Even so, many people fear it, fight it, and the wise man welcomes it, not because it's easy, but because it makes things better. Though because he has trained himself to be flexible through hard work. Let's think about the big changes in the economy in the 1950s. 10 years of change. Old businesses failed, new ones popped up, and a huge number of people found their way of life turned upside down. But among all the chaos, a small group of prophets saw what others couldn't. Another chance. They quickly adjusted, changed direction on purpose, and saw themselves not as victims of change, but as beneficiaries of it. Not luck, but disciplined adaptability set these pioneers apart from the rest. They practiced their minds to stay calm when things get tough, their eyes to look for opportunities, and their habits to act on what they see. Quickly and carefully. Realize this. There is no such thing as bad change. Not wanting to change is. By tomorrow, the person who holds on to the past will be buried. However, man will rise above the if he can keep being flexible, improve on purpose, and act instead of reacting. Rainstorm. Freedom to change is not chaos. It isn't just chance. It's not giving up on you, values, or where to go. No, disciplined adaptability is the skill of staying true to your goals, even as you make changes to your how-to. That power to stay rooted, even as you change your stance. All of them. For power to really work, it has to be trained. Train yourself to stay awake and aware. During times of stress, don't fear. Watch, take a deep breath, step back, and evaluate. The mind that can keep going. In the middle of doubt is the mind that sees solutions when others only see issues. Flexibility isn't a natural trait. All of you. For many, routine is safe and gives them the illusion of control. But progress needs movement, and movement is progress. Needs to be changed. You can learn to accept it. Everyone needs to ask themselves every day, what has shifted? What is it teaching me? What can I do to get through it? In this way, you develop a mindset that is open to growth, not being afraid of losing. Every problem seems like a puzzle to you. This is not a sentence to bear. This is what shakes up industries and makes fortunes. Find out how legacies are made and born. Starting in the 1950s, as technology grew and global markets changed, those who were able to adapt their plans and welcome new ideas, people who looked into new tools and felt the pulse of the future were ahead of those who... Nothing happened. A disciplined mind doesn't expect the world to change to fit its needs. Instead, it gets ready to face the world as it is and change it into what it wants to be, possibly become. This is a trait you need to work on. Get stronger by being able to adapt. Push yourself past your relief. Do things in new ways. Look at new trends. Do not be shy. Some people are afraid to ask. When problems arise, whoever knocks, don't hide. Do something about the door. Strive to come up with new ideas instead of copying others, and to explore instead of staying put. Allow us to... Every problem makes you smarter, and every setback makes you stronger. The world will keep to breadvillas.com station. Businesses, society, and people's lives all need to change. Nevertheless, with disciplined flexibility, not only will you make it through these changes, you will lead them. That's why I urge you to make mental being flexible. Keep your focus on your goal, but be flexible in how you carry it out. Do not let uncertainty bother you. You should instead train. Be willing to bend but not break, because that's what makes you strong. The ready mind does well with change. If you train yourself to be ready, every wave of trouble will help you. The wind is behind you. What you think and how you feel about things determines the path your life takes. Furthermore, it serves as a compass that guides you through trouble, chance, and the unknown. Being disciplined and having a good attitude it's not just a feel-good phrase, the basis on which greatness is built. Winston Churchill was in charge of a country that was in the throes of war and fear during the worst parts of World War II. War II, when it looked like freedom might not last, Mr. Churchill made the choice to train his mind. He wouldn't be despair has taken over. He instead used the strength of hope and determination. He never lost faith in, even though the odds were against them, victory gave millions of people hope. Not blind positivity was what made he had, but a very strict one. Not giving in to worry, fear, or lack of hope. People have had similar experiences to Mr. Churchill's. The proof is there. To the fact that we all have battles, inside and outside of ourselves. And in those times, the way we think becomes our most powerful tool, or our biggest burden. If we train our minds to look for possibilities, instead of by setting limits, we change how we experience life. Problems turn into stepping stones. Failures can teach us something. Problems become chances to learn and grow. That discipline doesn't come, of course. It's built up by doing it every day and consciously trying to change our point of view. Thanks are that kind of powerful practice. When we train our minds to think about what we have instead of, we give our minds more than what they need, making them stronger and clearer. Good mood, too, is not a simple illusion, but a thought that has been developed. It is the choice to see further. Feel the pain right now and believe in the value of sticking with something. Discipline is what makes plans come true. Without it, happiness is fragile and easily broken by the problems that come up in life. But with hard work, being positive turns into a force that is stable, long-lasting, and changing, starting to consider how things might be instead of how they are. We begin to recognize doors. When other people only see walls, every morning is a chance to train the mind. Will you fixate on limitations or accept what could happen? Will you let your fear guide you, or will you stake your claim? Have courage and be clear. You always have a choice, and every day you think clearly, you get closer to the life you want. Picture it. The things that you think about shape your future. Carefully shape them. Plan what you're building. Directions. Keeping them in line. Because luck, talent, or circumstances don't decide your fate in the end. What it is, the choice of how you want to think every day. Pick up the discipline. Pick happiness. Observe as you change the course of your life not by chance, but because you are strong enough to do it. Action and discipline in motion are the sound, the highest level of discipline. Dreaming, planning, and hoping are all easy things to do. But these plans stay plans if nothing is done. Not solid. True discipline is shown by what you do, not what you think. In any area of life, you need to be consistent and an intentional effort. It takes bravery to act, even when things aren't going well, and persistence to keep staying active, even if it seems like progress is being made slowly. Think about what Andrew Carnegie left behind. He was one of the most important businessmen in modern times. Mr. Carnegie was born poor and worked his way up, but not by chance, but by taking consistent, organized action. He didn't wait for the right time to act. He built them. Every day, he worked carefully and with purpose, putting money into knowledge, connections, and business. He was rich in more ways than one. It was built on habits and a drive to keep moving forward. Discipline means doing the right thing even when it's hard. When you don't feel like doing something and the urge to put it off keeps whispering in your ear, you have to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Putting things off is a silent killer of dreams. It slows down and destroys lack of confidence and keeps you stuck in a cycle of unrealized potential. Prepare to break free by learning how to make a decision and stick to it. Make it a habit to take that first step, then the next, and so on. Like that. You don't make progress in big, infrequent bursts. You make progress in slow, steady steps. Everyone disciplined. Any little thing you do brings you closer to the life you want. When the chance comes up, waiting can be lethal. A mind that is well trained acts quickly and with confidence. It lets you know that opportunities often come in the form of challenges, and waiting for the right time is just another way to be afraid. Discipline shuts down doubt, drives action, and makes sure that you are always ready to take advantage of an opportunity when it comes up. Allow your actions to speak louder than your words. Do not forget don't show your discipline in words, but in the things you do. It's your habits that make your future. Your behavior code decides how successful you are. A deliberate step forward is worth more. 1,000 unspoken goals. Don't just think, dream, or plan. Commit to doing as well. Show up every day. Complete the task. Get past the resistance. Boost your speed. Thank you for. You don't have to wait for fate to happen. You build it by following through with your plans, one brick at a time. There is no talent or luck that separates successful people from unsuccessful ones. What separates them is action. On the back, for every action that is worth doing, there is a quiet strength that stands behind it. Do what you need to do and let that define you. Spend some time feeling it. Remember that it will lead you to the life you were meant to live. Living a disciplined life isn't just about success for yourself, it's also about leaving a legacy that helps other people. People with the discipline of Mother Teresa change lives far and wide, more than their own. You need to train yourself to live with a purpose and a vision, bigger than just making money. How do you want people to remember you? Please let this happen. Vision guides your actions, making sure that every day adds to a lasting legacy. The responsible choices you made today will motivate people in the future. If you commit to living a disciplined life with a purpose, your legacy will live on. Back in time. Regular exercise is the key to success. Take care of it, and greatness is waiting for you. This word can explain why some people become famous while others stay average. Self-control. It's the factor that makes the difference between success and failure. Discipline makes you do things. Getting up early, staying focused, and avoiding distractions becomes less appealing. It's what turns intentions into results of actions, turning dreams into reality. Punishment breaks the cycle of putting things off and creates habits that help things change for good. Amazing accomplishments are built on a foundation of quiet, consistent work. Attempt. Consistency isn't just a quality. Your full potential is unlocked by this key, potential. Learn it well, and you'll know how to do everything else. The next few minutes will show you the difference between average and extraordinary, the secret weapon that every great leader, athlete, creator, and thinker uses. The main character. Your potential discipline comes from the invisible force that turns regular people into extraordinary achievers. In my lifetime, I've studied hundreds of the most famous people from the mid-1100s and early 1100s, discovered that their stories were based on an unchanging truth, unwavering discipline. Incredibly, athletes like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison did not become famous by accident, talent, or creativity. Their greatness came from a deep-seated, unwavering discipline. Take Henry, for example. Chevrolet. Skeptics surrounded him as he thought about his innovative carriage that didn't contain any horses. This is Mr. Ford's Preston Aston W. Vision was seen as useless or even silly. Despite being laughed at, skeptic, and constantly opposed, he kept going. As a result, a storm of doubt, Mr. Ford was guided by his discipline. From morning to morning, upon awakening, he had a clear and unwavering goal. Discipline turned setbacks into learning opportunities that fueled his determination. Decreasing determination instead of eliminating it. Mr. Ford's strict adherence to his vision turned skepticism into respect, turning doubt into respect and ridicule into amazing things. Although the world was skeptical and hesitant at first, it stood in the end, astonished by the results of his disciplined persistence. Similarly, Thomas Edison is a great example of how powerful self-control. Mr. Edison famously said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Sweating. This principle guided him throughout his career, even when he kept failing at his goal of create the incandescent light bulb. Edison didn't stay motivated by talent alone or a brief flash of inspiration. Getting going. That was discipline, the unwavering dedication to his vision. Thousands of failed attempts later, Mr. Edison stayed focused and meticulously improved his method until he not only lit a bulb, but also the 12 bulb entire world. Discipline is a lot more than just punishment or limits. Liberation it is, the highest level of freedom one can reach. The ability to make decisions comes from having discipline, especially when motive or feelings start to waver. Sticking to your goals is easy when you're motivated by passion or inspiration. Nonetheless, at those crucial times when motivation is low, real triumph, real long-lasting achievement grows. Desires get weaker. Although your energy and enthusiasm may have faded, discipline is what keeps you going. Clearly understand that discipline does not hold you back, inspires you, offering structure and a clear path toward your deepest hopes and dreams. Consistency is the key to making sure that everyone is treated equally. Individuals with average skills can rise above those who are talented but lack discipline, dedication. Sincerely, dedication, talent still has untapped potential, and dreams stay just that, fantasies that never come true. Maybe you want to know how, am I able to become more disciplined? Define your purpose and your goals clearly to start. Visualize what you want. Outcomes vividly. Using these visions to fuel your resolve and guide your daily actions is smart. Develop habits and routines that will help you reach your goals. Do something small at first. Discipline doesn't need complicated gestures, but rather constant, focused work over time. Deal with your promises honestly. Reminding yourself of your self-confidence and abilities boosts your discipline. Moreover, it is important to remember that discipline works best in a clear and precise environment. Deliberately vague or unclear intentions make discipline less strong. Clearly state your objectives. Outline exactly what success looks like and what needs to be done to get it. Completely surrounding yourself with disciplined people who will inspire and support your advances. Their resolve will inspire you. Their support will make you more determined. Always remember that discipline is a choice you make for yourself. The answer is no. Externally forced upon you Within must come it. Consciously choosing to be disciplined is important. Doing that begins a journey that will change things. Take discipline seriously, and you will consider yourself empowered to overcome challenges, go beyond limits, and achieve goals that were once thought impossible, unable. Take discipline as your compass, your constant friend, and your strongest ally, because without discipline, dreams are just wishes. Within your reach, they become real, attainable things. Embrace discipline and watch as normal days turn into amazing achievements that bring you make your dreams come true. Unmistakably, your compass to greatness, your clearly defined goals, properly disciplined people. For years, I studied the thoughts and behaviors of people who were incredibly successful. I've noticed that consistent high achievers set clear, specific goals. A lifetime without clear objectives is like a ship at sea that is drifting aimlessly without a rudder or direction, open to every change to the wind and waves. Think about how the Wright brothers' story can inspire you. These two leaders with vision pursued an unattainable goal to rule the skies. Others were all around them, laughed at their efforts, saying they were unrealistic or even silly, although our heroes, the Wright brothers, had clear goals. That's exactly what they were trying to do, carefully outlined, from making machines lighter and more aerodynamic to mastering the complicated mechanics of flying under control. Their unwavering discipline, which was based on clear goals, helped them surpass questions, gravity, and the limits of their time. Their methodical pursuit opened the door for people to leave the earthly bonds and reach for the heavens. The clarity and accuracy of such significant achievements. Lack of clarity and unclear goals don't provide a solid foundation for self-control. Defined goals help you concentrate. Inspiration and determination should be sparked. What you do, clearly stating what you want to achieve, you create a detailed map that guides your focused, organized work, giving each step a purpose and strength. Wishes become attainable when you have clear goals, clearly defined goals that can be measured by actions, milestones, and outcomes. Honestly ask yourself, what do I really want? What objective, if reached, would greatly alter my existence and lead me to finding long-lasting happiness? Answering this question honestly and with thought is necessary, for genuine self-awareness is the only way to get clarity. Choose your destination very clearly and vividly. Exactly. Imagine that you are already successful. Give yourself permission to experience the feelings of happiness and accomplishment that come with reaching your goal. This clarity of emotion fuels your disciplined determination. Define your goal and hold yourself accountable every day, regardless of your mood or situations permitting. Take deliberate, organized steps toward your goal. Discipline makes sure uniformity, keeping you dedicated even when your drive fades or problems arise. Each little, repeated, focused action builds up into strong momentum that moves you steadily toward your ultimate goal. Recognize that people who are disciplined do well with routines. Increase daily. Doing things that consistently move you forward are called habits. This is what makes these small but important daily habits stand out. Transforms dreamers into achievers. Sticking to these habits is what discipline means, even if you don't feel creative. Yes, it is. Your purpose-driven, silent force that keeps you true to it. Completely surround yourself with accountable people who share your values and whose disciplined behavior motivates you. For example, the motivation and dedication you have can be greatly increased by receiving encouragement. Gain knowledge from both their successes and failures. Knowing that discipline and persistence are key to getting past the problems that will inevitably come up. Ultimately, discipline, clearly defined goals can turn ordinary people into extraordinary ones. Achievers. Clear thinking will help you stay on track, which will fuel your discipline and make each step carefully thought out and meaningful. Currently, identify your destination. Starting tomorrow, Be disciplined in your steps. Continue. Every day, step by disciplined step, until your dreams are no longer just hopes and imaginations. Becomes real. Reaching your goals is possible. You just need to be disciplined about it. Embrace the strength of clearly define your goals, and then watch as your disciplined dedication turns your dreams into long-lasting success. Discipline. Despite problems. Inevitably, life is full of problems, setbacks, and failures. For the disciplined person, these problems aren't obstacles. They're just steps on the way to greatness. Regular practice shifts your perspective, so you see challenges as chances to grow instead of as impossible problems to solve. Abraham Lincoln had a turbulent life, marked by numerous failures in business and politics. When he first started working, Mr. Styles told Abraham Lincoln, Lincoln went through serious disappointments. He lost a number of elections, had businesses go bankrupt, and experienced receiving constant criticism from rivals and peers. This series of setbacks was bad enough to break the spirit of lower-class person. Nevertheless, Mr. Lincoln, with a disciplined mind and spirit, showing strength after losing, not letting setbacks define him negatively, Mr. Lincoln used each one to his advantage. Failure can be used as a learning opportunity to build character and resilience. His structured way of thinking transformed every setback into fuel for persistence. Eventually, his unwavering discipline led him to guided America through its most troubled period and became one of history's most respected leaders, strengthening resilience, fueled by achieving success in tough times, requires discipline. Pursuing discipline gives you the guts and strength to succeed. Every time you hit the ground, as a result, you learn to keep going even when things look overly difficult. Insurmountable problems. Sticking to a routine keeps short-term setbacks from turning into long-term failures. When problems arise, stops and reminds you of this important truth. Temporary setbacks happen. Within each problem, it's a valuable lesson and a hidden chance to improve your character and skills. Commit to looking past the pain or disappointment you're feeling right now and finding the wisdom that's hidden in it. Adventures. Your whole view of life's inevitable hardships changes when you take this approach. Having discipline allows asking you important, empowering questions when things are going badly. Why is this happening to me? How could this be? Challenge, strengthen me. How can I benefit from this setback? Like this. If you keep a disciplined mind, every problem becomes a chance to grow smarter, stronger, and more successful. To develop this strong resilience, you have to choose discipline every day. Create habits and routines that strengthen your spirit, especially when things are hard. Maintaining your actions build resilience, mental and emotional preparation for the problems you will inevitably encounter. Surround yourself with positive people who are strong and disciplined. The things that matter to them. Their stories motivate you to keep working hard to overcome problems. Moreover, keep clear, focused goals that help you stay on track and motivated even when things are hard. After setting goals, you can remember your bigger purpose, encouraging you to keep things in perspective and keep your mind on the long-term benefits of sticking with something. Always keep in mind that you should not see problems as enemies, but as teachers. Every problem, setback, each failure holds the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Focus on developing these habits, seeds that increase resilience and personal growth. As you get better at doing this, setbacks can lead to your biggest wins, as in, basically, discipline lets you change the story of your life, not anymore limited by mistakes or defined by setbacks. You become a disciplined person who sees benefits in everything. Challenge. Accept discipline completely. Make your resolve stronger, your resilience deeper, and lead you consistently to success. When you apply discipline, life's challenges can turn into life-changing experiences, using every setback as a necessary step toward your ultimate goal, foundation of success. It has been from life experience that a person can only go as far as they believe in themselves. Being self-confident isn't just a nice feeling. For long-term success, this is the very thing that provides support. Before someone can command, before controlling other people or situations, he needs to control his own mind. That command starts with a firm belief that he possesses the ability, deserves, and is destined to succeed. Lighted by Thomas Alva Edison, brightened the world with his brilliant light. Despite failing thousands of times, did he ever question his calling? And did he let those happen? Failures to discern the limits of his belief? In no time. Despite everything, he kept a vision so clear, an unwavering faith that even the darkness of failure couldn't put it out. In that, my friends, is the power of believing in themselves. Discipline is the believer's loyal servant. The vision is belief. As the saying goes, discipline builds. Being religious alone doesn't make belief a stronghold up in the sky. In addition, discipline has no point without belief. The two have to toggle your shoulders against each other to make the other stronger. Mr. Edison saw success as more than just a possibility. He dedicated every day to pursuing it. Those words guided his life, his thoughts, and his actions. Belief. He worked non-stop, methodically, and on purpose. Working for an hour was like laying a brick by the tranters, in the form of discipline, on the basis of belief. Also, it must be the same for you. Commence first and always have faith. Tell them, speaking to yourself every day, not just for fun, but with conviction, I am capable. I'm worthy. I'll be successful. No one, no situation, and no. Let failure persuade you differently. Feelings of doubt are bad. What it takes from you is destiny if you let it. Therefore, keep your mind safe like a treasure chest. Eliminate all feelings of inferiority or not being good enough. Immediately replace them with statements of strength, purpose, and ability. You need to focus on training your mind like a soldier trains for battle. Practice and repetition. The things you think about manifest as beliefs. Your beliefs determine what you do. Your actions make your future. But it all starts with believing. Across tables I've sat, messages from men with a lot of money and power. Their rise from humble beginnings wasn't by chance, not because of your favor, but because they saw it and believed it. People believed them even when others made fun of them, those people. When evidence was weak, they believed. This belief helped them see a very clear picture of success. It drew to them the people, chances, and situations they needed to ensure it happened. Okay? But allow me to be clear. For dreamers, believing without doing anything is pointless. You needed to do something, basing your belief. Let your every move be guided by a purpose. Better get up early, planning your day, thinking positive thoughts, spending time with positive people, and failure will come, but don't curse it. If you are a teacher, welcome it. Reaffirm your belief even more. Do not forget that success is not guaranteed. For the smartest and hardest working people, and discipline turns belief into determination. This is how I saying, believe in yourself with all your heart. Summon, harden your resolve like your dreams. Depend on it, because they do. Do it, and know this is true. Once you combine belief and discipline, you'll never be unable to reach your goals. Self-control. While trying to be successful, many men look for secrets in odd places, as if success were hidden. Hinter closed doors that only a select few are privy to. Nevertheless, I have learned that one of the strongest truths is not in obscurity. In plain sight, though, your passion is your purpose, and discipline flows from that purpose. You can reach the highest levels of success and get through the hardest trials with the help of a deep and lasting faith. Ludwig van Beethoven, known as one of the greatest composers ever, in the middle of his rise to musical immortality, terrible things happened. Losing his hearing was what many would call the final blow. For a musician, this kind of loss is heartbreaking, bothersome. It's extremely sad. Beethoven, though, saw it as not the end. It was actually the start of his most beyond human creations. In what way did he continue? How did he write his most thought-provoking symphonies while struggling with, could there be silence? The answer is passion. The music of Beethoven. Loving music wasn't a preference. That's what he wanted. It was living in the soul. Passion fueling his discipline drove his spirit. Kind that isn't required by law, but the kind that flows easily from within. His wasn't a strict discipline based on duty, but a natural, joyful pursuit of expression one note at a time. For example, when a man finds his passion, discipline stops being a burden, changes into wings. Discipline is often thought of as sacrifice, suffering, hurtful persistence. While walking someone else's path, this is only true when the light on your way is from passion. The work needed to keep going doesn't feel like work anymore. It becomes holy. Numerous people have sat with me. Men, each with their own wealth, poverty, power, and problems. Whoever succeeds and has peace in their heart has found getting their inner calling and their outer efforts to work together. They didn't just diligently toil, they did the work with love. Because of that love and passion, discipline comes naturally. Changing the part, get better at grinding. What is it that makes you feel spiritual? What would you do even if no one cheered or awarded you? Nor rewarded you? Why? Because that answer holds the key to your future, and once planted, it's your job to provide daily care for it with discipline. Passion makes discipline become rhythmic. Is like the musician who gets up every morning to practice his scales, not because he has to, but because he can't stand not to. Yes, it is. For the inventor, working on sketches at midnight wasn't out of compulsion, but out of devotion, which is the opposite of compulsion. In case, if you're tired or wandering around aimlessly, it might not be your lack of discipline that's making you feel that way, but your disconnect from your passion. Realign, reconnect, locate the fire that once existed, spent no time and no effort at all. Make your life revolve around it once you find it. Do not let use the mornings for your purpose only. Let the habits you form help you do what you're called to do. Embrace individuals who motivate you, share your dedication, and lift your spirits. Invest in your passion every day, as if it were, you should keep the gold because it is worth more than any treasure. Remember this timeless truth. You can't just ignore problems when they are no longer enemies, so follow your passion. They start hanging out together. Of course they test you, but they also shape you. God bless you. For better results, they sharpen your edge, teach you more, and bring out the best in you. When passion meets discipline, greatness happens. This is not a matter of if or when. I want you to find your passion, show it, respect, and live it, and let it guide your daily discipline. When you combine discipline and passion, you become great. Inevitably happens. Control your growth. Explore the life of Benjamin Franklin, a famous and important person in history. Architects of American creativity. Despite being born into a modest family, he never went to school past the age of 10. Nonetheless, self-discipline and education helped him become a politician, inventor, writer, diplomat, and philosopher. The way was this accomplished? Hi, Mr. Franklin created a daily routine that included writing, reading, and thinking, experimenting. Carefully shaping his mind was like a sculptor carefully shaping stone. He carried books. Like many others, he was always interested in learning new languages and looking at the natural world. He wrote down ideas, asked questions, and tested theory. Most importantly, he was always learning. That Mr. Franklin said, "It was understood, and everyone who wants to be successful must understand, that knowledge changes over time. It is active and changing, constantly changing, and if you want to stay sharp, useful, and effective, you need to keep up with it." Energy. But this kind of growth doesn't just happen. This happens by self-control. Learning throughout life requires consistency. One needs to get into the habit of learning as one gets into the daily habit of breathing naturally and instinctively. Why does it matter if you are a being a teacher, a business person, a farmer, or a financier. Loss starts as soon as you stop learning. Your ideas get stronger. Inactive, your skills become less useful, and your potential decreases. Having discipline is important for keeping the mind alive. Learning isn't an occasion. It is not a seminar over the weekend, a one-time class, or an unexpected inspiration. Unfortunately, growth happens in baby steps, not big jumps. As a result of discipline, each step, lesson, and bit of progress builds on the last one. Similar to compound interest, the results may not seem like much at first, but they add up over time to profound knowledge and skill. Daily learning is something you have to do, not just when it is actually practical every day, not just when inspiration strikes. Book reading, music listening, listening to a lecture, learning about an idea, or thinking about an idea, keeping a journal of your calmest insights. Apply what you've learned by doing it. Do not be content with just knowing things. Looking for understanding, and after you understand something, use what you've learned to help you reach your goals. The world is going through changes very quickly. New ways of thinking and ideas reveal themselves with each season. To avoid falling behind, you must make learning a top priority. Nevertheless, if you control, nothing stops you from growing. The best leaders of Framsatter's industry, the most respected thinkers, and the toughest pioneers, there is no such thing. Just ambitious individuals. They are very serious. While others talk, they write things down. When others make assumptions, they ask questions. People read while others sleep. When others are distracting them, they think themselves. Sticking to your discipline is what connects you to your highest potential. Let it lead you to higher levels of understanding. Be sure to let it. Improvements in your thinking, decisions, and abilities can help you open doors that talent alone can't. In light of this, I urge you to establish a daily routine for learning. Growing knowledge, curiosity, and humility in your mind will make it grow. That's where the seeds of greatness grow and are planted. That's why success isn't a final goal, but a lifelong lesson. Additionally, a disciplined learner is always moving, changing, and rising. Discipline, life's big constant changes as things change. Unexpectedly, it comes and changes the landscape of our households, businesses, and wealth. Despite this, many people are afraid of it, reject it, and that it undoes. The wise man welcomes it, not because it's simple. He is flexible, not because he has a natural flexibility. Come on in. Think back to the massive changes in the economy in the 1950s, evolving for 10 years. There were failures in old industries, the rise of new markets, and the success of many people. Life was completely shaken. Despite the chaos, a small group of prophets saw what others couldn't. Possibility. They shifted quickly and on purpose, and positioned themselves not as victims of change, but as beneficiaries of it. Disciplined adaptability, not luck, set these pioneers apart from the rest. After training their mentally to stay calm when things get tough, visually to look for opportunities, and behaviorally to act in a certain way, swiftly and strategically. Do not forget this. You should not be afraid of change. The opposite of change is resistance. The man who holds on to the past will be buried by tomorrow. The man who disciplines, that man will rise above the rigidity of his own nature, to change with purpose, to respond instead of react. Thunderstorm. Chaos is not adaptability. It's not just random. You are not giving up on your values or directions. Actually, disciplined adaptability is the skill of staying true to your goal while making changes to how you do things. Methods. It's the ability to stay rooted even as you change your positioning. All of the best. For power to really work, it needs to be trained. Practice staying awake and aware. Do not, when you are under too much stress, don't panic. Stop, take a deep breath, observe, and then evaluate. What kind of mind can stay Although things are uncertain, there is a mind that sees answers where others only see problems. Not naturally, people are adaptable. All of you. However, many people like the security of routine and the false sense of control that it offers. But progress needs movement, and movement is what progress needs. Demands change. Get used to it by practicing. You need to ask yourself every day, how has it changed? How can it teach me something? How am I going to get through it? You develop a growth-oriented mindset this way, opposed to being afraid of losing. Things start to look like puzzles to you. This is not a sentence to bear. Changing industries and making fortunes this way are created. And how legacies begin in the 1950s as companies that changed their strategies and were open to new ideas did well when technology grew and global markets changed. Individuals who researched new tools and kept an eye on the future were ahead of those who, holding still. For the mind to be disciplined, it is not necessary for the world to change to fit it. This kind of thinking gets ready to meet the world as it is and change it into what it wants to be. Has the potential to. Please work on developing this trait. Develop your flexibility like a muscle. Increase your convenience. Attempt new methods. Examine new trends. Request information. Others are scared to ask. What happens when disruption? Do not hide when someone knocks. Allow the door to open. Innovation, not copying, and exploration, not retreat, should be your discipline. Come on, every problem strengthens your ability to think critically, and every setback makes you stronger. It will continue to. Life, business, and society all need to change. With disciplined flexibility, along with surviving these changes, you will also be able to lead through them. Therefore, I strongly advise you to make mental adaptability. Maintain a firm grip on your purpose while keeping your execution flexible. Don't let uncertainty affect you. Plan instead to train. Flexibility is key to success. Keep an open mind. Prepared minds do better with change. Focus on being ready, and every problem will become an opportunity. Have the wind behind you. Your focus or mindset determines the path of your life. It does the job of a Tudensaiv. Almanac, guiding you quietly through trouble, chance, and the unknown. Maintaining a disciplined and positive outlook it's not just a wishful thinking phrase. It is the base on which greatness is constructed. Winston Churchill was in charge of a country that was terrified and at war during the worst parts of World War II. During WWIE, when the future of freedom itself seemed uncertain, Mr. Churchill decided to train his mind. He insisted on feelings of hopelessness. His strength came from being optimistic and strong. His firm belief in winners, despite the huge odds, gave millions of people hope. Absolute positivity did not define an extremely well-behaved one, refusing to give in to worry, fear, or hopelessness. Many people have had similar experiences to Mr. Churchill's. It shows credibility. Acknowledging the truth that we all have battles inside and outside of ourselves. When that happens, the way we think becomes our strongest tool or our biggest burden. By training our minds to look for possibilities instead of limitations, change how we experience life. Setbacks are like stepping stones. Failures can be turned into learning experiences. Overcoming problems turns problems into chances to grow. This strictness doesn't come obviously. We build it up by practicing every day and making an effort to see things differently. Showing gratitude is one highly effective method. When we practice noticing what we have instead of beyond what we lack, we feed our minds with strength and clarity. Additionally, optimism, a well-honed belief, not a simple illusion. The decision to see further, endure the present pain, and trust in the worth of persistence. Discipline is what takes you from wanting to do something to actually doing it. Thoughtfulness is fragile without it, easily broken by the inevitable problems in life. With discipline, The positive energy turns into a force that is stable, long-lasting, and changing. Our journey begins. Imagine what the world could be instead of what it is. We start recognizing doors. Others only see walls there. Every morning there is a chance to train the mind. You may focus on limitations or recognize the possibilities. Will fear take over, or will you stay rooted? Bravery and clarity, you always have a choice. And every thought you control brings you one step closer to the life you want. Imagine, thinking about things shapes your future. Shape them carefully. Create with purpose. Take the lead, holding them accountable. Since luck, talent, or circumstances don't really determine your fate in the end, it is the attitude that you choose to have every day. Pick discipline. Pick the positive attitude. Also, watch as it's not by chance that your life changes. You change it on purpose. Action, discipline in motion is the highest standard of discipline. Making plans, hoping, and dreaming is easy. Still, these plans stay plans without action. Not solid. Inaction, not thought, is what shows real discipline. Consistent and effortful effort. It takes guts to act, even when things aren't going well, and constant determination to keeping going, even if it seems like slowly. In thinking about Andrew Carnegie's legacy, very successful businessman in the modern era. Born into poverty, Mr. Carnegie worked his way up, but not through consistent, disciplined action. It wasn't like he was waiting for the perfect time to act. Crafted them. His work was purposeful and precise every day, and he invested in enterprise, relationships, and knowledge. He wasn't just rich financially. It was built on a foundation of habits and consistent moving forward. Following through on your duties requires self-control, not having any motivation, and wanting to put things off whispering in your ear, meaning doing what needs to be done, whether you want to do it or not. Holding off on doing something steals dreams without being seen. It kills momentum and degrades, lacking confidence, and keeps you stuck in a cycle of unrealized potential. To get away, you have to teach yourself to determined and consistent behavior is required. Commit to taking that first step, then the next, and so on. All that. Movement doesn't happen in big bursts very often. It happens slowly and carefully. Each disciplined doing something brings you closer to the life you want. Hesitation can be fatal. Disciplined minds act quickly and with confidence, understands that opportunities usually come in the form of challenges, and waiting for the right time is just another way to be scared. Discipline stops you from doubting, powers you to act, and guarantees that you're always ready to take advantage of an opportunity when it comes up. Actions should speak louder than words. Do not let the results of your discipline should speak for themselves, not what you say. Your lifestyle choices determine what happens in the future. Your discipline determines your success. One deliberate step forward is worth more than 1,000 unspoken goals. Commit to doing, not just thinking, dreaming, or making plans. Be there every day. Carry out the duties. Carry on despite the opposition. Grow your momentum. This is your destiny. Doesn't wait for you. It takes disciplined action, one brick at a time, step by step. Not talent or luck, but action separates those who succeed from those who don't. And behind it, the quiet strength of discipline stands behind every action that is worth doing. Pick disciplined action and let it define you. Relax and let it move you, and let it guide you to the life you were meant to live. Disciplined living isn't just about hitting your own goals. It's also about leaving a legacy, an inheritance that helps others. Well-organized efforts by people like Mother Teresa change many lives beyond their own. Commit to living a purposeful life guided by a vision, broader than personal gain. Consider how you'd like to be remembered. So let this happen. Focusing on your vision will help you discipline your actions and make sure that every day adds to a lasting legacy. Your responsible decisions today will inspire future generations. Commit to living a disciplined life with a purpose, and your legacy will resonate all through time. Self-control is the key to success. Smartly use it, and you are destined for greatness.